just telling Michael last hour, my first car, 68 Ford Falcon.
Oh, man. That's amazing.
I lost the gas cap.
Okay.
So I used a rag.
You did.
And I drove around with a rag hanging out of my effectively driving a Molotov cocktail. So I did fix that. I fixed that issue.
That thing.
Yeah, it would have been ugly. Yeah, it would have been ugly.
Oh my God.
It was a different time then.
Driving a Molotov.
Well, I got a fix for that gas cap.
Listen,
Let's throw this rag in
the
there.
same
Makes
car.
sense.
The same car. He messed up. Tell the story about what happened to your
Hey,
taking a girl on a date.
I had my first car. I'd had it for a week. I'm not a good driver. I admit it. And I don't know. I parked next to a dumpster, and somehow backing up, I ran the driver's door right into the dumpster, rendering the driver's door inoperable for the remainder of the car's life. So you go pick the date up on Friday night, and she goes to the passenger side, and well, no, sweetheart, you're gonna have to come over here. just slide on over there, and then we'll
Could
be
you
up.
imagine picking a girl up
That's
in
awful.
her house, and then she has to get in the same door with you?
That is awful.
On your first date,
Oh.
creeper.
I was the only guy in town with a 3-door sedan. It was amazing. Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah. Oh man.
This guy's going places.
Yeah, he is.
Oh man.
Pea green too, right?
It was pea green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
So if,
that's
if,
Sweet
best.
set of wheels.
You
Got it
have-
for $300.
if you have a story of fixing something at your house or on your vehicle or something, and it's
Yeah.
was not ideal, and you left it that way, let us know. 314-436-7900, or leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app.
I will say you may have been like my aunt. She drove an old car forever, but she also was kind of like not bothered by things, and stuff would fall off her car while she was driving, like the bumper or
Ooh.
like the door handle, and she would just pull over and put it in her trunk until at some point, probably 37% of her car was,
Oh
in,
my
was in
God.
the trunk.
That's kind of awesome.
Is she related to John?
That's Amy Mark Scores. I'm Chris Ranji. We've got Hancock and Kelly with us on a Friday on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Febreze.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan with a quick reminder. Schedule that annual eye exam. Routine eye exams not only diagnose vision changes, but can detect systemic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, thyroid disease, to name just a few. Do what I do. Call Ophthalmology Associates at 314-966-5000. The doctors there, Greg Birdie, Ranj Malhotra, Samuel Berry, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, will provide you with the area's most comprehensive eye exam. These doctors can also help with dry eye disease, the result of staring at screens, flying in airplanes, or living in a dry environment. Dry eye sounds harmless, but it can cause inflammation, blurred vision, and damage to the eye's surface that's sometimes difficult to reverse. The doctors at Ophthalmology Associates are expert in diagnosis and treatment of dry eye disease. 314-966-5000, yourEyeDoc.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Broadcasting from the underlying Three Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, Friday, getting down on Friday.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, John Hancock, Michael Kelly. Well, gentlemen, after not doing a ton of interviews, after she won the nomination, Democratic nomination for president, Kamala Harris has gone on a spate of interviews, and some people have commented or criticized her choice of outlets, whether it be The View or the Call Her Daddy podcast, the sex podcast with Alex Cooper, Howard Stern, though she did also do 60 Minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think obviously the strategic selection of those podcasts, the most popular midday show, the second most popular podcast in the country, and Call Her Daddy, even though they may not be NBC News, was it a strategic move to reach voters?
Sure, but I don't think it's anything different than any candidate would be doing and what President Trump's doing. I mean, he just happens to be doing his with white supremacists, his podcast. He's out there on some fringe groups talking to folks like that. It's obvious for what I see is that the Harris campaign is really focused on suburbia and trying to bring down the margins on white males going for Donald Trump and speak to women in suburban areas. It's strategically smart. It makes sense. And NBC News is not what it used to be. And if you're going to reach people, unfortunately, podcasts and those types of things are going to be places you're going to have to go.
So she lost her bounce. She had the bounce through the convention, through the debate, and that's now gone. The polls are moving back in Donald Trump's direction, and I think this is a response to that. The problem is, as I see, I don't think Kamala Harris is a particularly good candidate, and I don't think she gives particularly effective interviews. Her answers now, I'm not saying Donald Trump's the greatest, media president in history.
No, he's really bad.
But she's not good, and the 60 Minutes interview I thought was awkward in places. So, but it's clear that her bounce is done, and now we're looking at a very, very close election, and I don't think the polls are going to change much between now and then.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like if you look at her historically, at other candidates, and especially, the candidate of candidate Barack Obama, who was just so skilled at what he did, or Bill Clinton, very skilled at being a candidate. I get it. She's not a very good candidate, comparatively speaking. But I think two things. One, I think she is a totally different person than she was in 2019. She's a different candidate than the one who didn't make it to Iowa in 2019, more experienced. And two, just to be honest, like, she's a much better candidate than Trump. Like, Trump is insane. Like, that's how I feel. Like, when I watch his rally speeches, he's insane. He's talking about Hannibal Lecter. So I guess, yes, compared to Obama, compared to Bill Clinton, not the most, the best candidate, but compared to Joe Biden or Donald Trump, I feel like she's vastly superior. Am I wrong in that?
Well, Trump is an acquired taste, and a lot of people
Like
have
way to put it.
Like mildew.
and a lot of people have acquired that taste. And so, there are millions of people in this country that think Donald Trump is the greatest president in the history of America. I don't share that opinion, but a lot of people believe that. And I think it's just the otherness of him. He is so different than any candidate we've ever seen before run for president. And I think that appeals to a lot of people, and I don't get it, but there it is.
I think she's a much better candidate as well, Amy. And, I was involved in that 19 race. I was working for Joe Biden, who was also in the cellar at the beginning of that whole contest. Of course, she didn't make it to Iowa, but she's had a lot of batting practice since then. Vice presidents don't really do much, despite the fact that, she's out right now kind of being the face of the administration. What they do is they show up at events and hand out awards and give speeches and answer questions. And she's gotten really good at that. I think she's gotten a lot better. I mean, no, she's not Barack Obama. She's not Bill Clinton. And thankfully, she's not Donald Trump. And I think that's what the contrast will ultimately come down to. There's a lot of focus right now on Kamala Harris and these interviews and where she's going. I'll be interested to see if we recalibrate back to what the former president is saying, because he is continuing to spiral and get nuttier and nuttier every night. Yet the focus seems to be on, well, what's Kamala Harris up to?
Yeah, let me ask this question in terms of, I mentioned earlier, 25 days away from the election. How much movement can there really be in just a little over 3 weeks' time? I still do not understand how you can be undecided at this point.
Yeah.
This is, how do you not know?
Don't you want to meet an undecided voter?
I'd love to. Somebody who really truly is undecided, not somebody who's like, yeah, I'm a Republican and I always vote Republican. Yeah, I'm probably going to do it again. I mean, somebody who really doesn't know what they want to do right now.
For what undecided? When you say undecided, do you mean undecided between Harris and Trump, or do you mean undecided between Harris and third party? Because they're not
any
voting.
of it,
or undecided between voting or not voting.
Yeah.
I think that's probably
think
the bigger issue here.
And John, don't you think those undecideds would be overwhelmingly on the Republican side, who have deep policy differences with Kamala Harris, but refuse to vote for Trump? So they're like, oh my gosh, should I vote for Harris or waste my vote writing in Nikki Haley or something?
Yeah, I think there's probably some of that. Trump, though, has done a remarkable job of keeping most of the partisan Republicans out there supporting him. When you do the crosstabs in a poll and you look at the percentage of Republicans that are voting for Trump, it's still very consistent with the historical percentages that the Republican nominee gets of the Republican electorate. So, are there Republicans that aren't voting for Donald Trump? Yeah, there's a lot, but he's kind of within the norm of your typical success rate amongst your own partisans.
That's John Hancock. Michael Kelly is with us. It is the Chris and Amy Show. We've got another segment with these gentlemen. We'll do that when we come back on KMOX.
We can get more sleep, we can get more sun, and we can get more exercise. But the one thing that we can't get more of is time. It's time to eliminate the one phrase that could be holding you back from reaching your retirement goals. I'll take care of it tomorrow. It's time to pick up the phone and make the call to Gary Goldberg and the team at Financial and Tax Strategies. 618-361-4232 or online at checkwithgary.com. Investment advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Gary Goldberg, NPN number 918615.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Missouri, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Hi, I'm Officer John Van Gordon, recruiter with the Springfield Police Department. We are currently looking for driven, qualified, and team-oriented citizens to become the next generation of community-minded servants here in Springfield. Our salaries and benefits are paid from day one. Plus, right now, new recruits are eligible to receive a $5,000 hiring incentive, and experienced officers looking to transfer are eligible for $10,000. To learn more, visit GoSPD.com. That's GoSPD.com.
Brought to you by the Springfield, Missouri Police Department.
There's breaking news all day long from around the world, and sometimes all that noise makes it hard to hear about what's happening right here at home. With the free Odyssey app, getting your local news plus breaking news is easy. And even when you're not near a radio, stay connected with what's going on right here by listening live and push alerts. Just download the free Odyssey app and search and follow your local news station, and you're good to go. The local breaking news to get you through your day at your fingertips on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
At 10:30, we've got sunshine, 69 degrees downtown at the Arch. President Biden is calling on Congress to speed up emergency funds for the victims of Hurricanes Helene and Milton. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
There are no plans for him to formally call on the speaker to bring them back or for them to talk about this. In part because I think just the public pressure alone is what the White House is sort of suggesting, that they're doing their jobs. In essence, if Congress would like to come back and try to start tackling this, they can.
Roadwork on 6440 going east at I-170. That's got the right two lanes closed. Also a disabled vehicle, 6440 going west at Big Bend. That's on the right shoulder. Sunshine this afternoon, high temperature 88. Clear tonight, low 63. For tomorrow, sun, high 91. Right now, sun and 69 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
If you're thinking of getting new hardwood, carpet, laminate, or vinyl flooring at one of those big box or discount stores, put it on hold. As in Reinhold. Reinhold Flooring, covering St. Louis and beyond since 1988. Residential or builder, you'll find everything you need in our showroom on Telegraph. When it comes to investing in your home, you want the best in carpet, laminate, vinyl flooring, or area rugs. Put those others on hold with Reinhold Flooring. Stop by Telegraph Road or learn more at reinholdflooring.com.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Dell Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Dell's team live in St. Louis. 2 days only at the Hilton Frontenac, Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and 10th. Register now at DellHelpMeNow.com. That's DellHelpMeNow.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. DellHelpMeNow.com. Code 2024.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct so different than other jewelry stores, you have to go back 60 years, when a diamond cutter became well known for his exceptional craftsmanship. His diamond cutting business flourished for decades. Then his sons got involved and started selling these exceptional diamonds to upscale jewelry stores here in America. After a few years, these wholesalers decided to change the game and started selling these precious diamonds direct to the public at the same prices they had sold to the jewelry stores. The no middleman concept became an instant success, and Diamonds Direct was born. Today, Diamonds Direct provides that extraordinary value to people all over America, leading the industry with the highest quality diamonds that still come straight from the best cutters, offered at the guaranteed best prices. Period. Diamonds Direct, a truly revolutionary concept with a unique history, rooted in quality, committed to excellence, and always focused on value.
Saturdays are made for soccer. Presented by Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly.
Oh, Rowan Berkey, I do it, Sam!
Catch St. Louis City Soccer anywhere you go on the Odyssey app, or grab your friends and catch the game at any City on Tap location, bringing City SC fans and beer together.
Hi, my name is Indiana Vasilev from St. Louis City, and Saturdays are made for soccer.
Brought to you by Together Credit Union, the exclusive banking partner of City SC. Bernie Nicholas gets the final word during Sports on a Sunday morning, this Sunday at 11:45 on KMOX.
I have a question for the political men today. My mother was going to be out of town for the election. Since the hurricane, she has come back to St. Louis. I received her absentee ballot, but since she now will be back for the election, what do you recommend I do?
Political man. Sounds like a superhero.
I am political man. I like it.
I kind of like it too.
I like
Political
it a lot.
men?
Yes.
Hello, political men.
Hello
Please-
there, ordinary people.
Please leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app, like our friend Mary did. What do you guys say to that?
What are you going to tell Mary, Michael?
Vote the absentee ballot.
That's what I would tell Mary. Not Mary, Mary's mother.
Yeah.
Mary's mother.
Just vote the absentee ballot, mail it in,
Mary's
and
mother.
stay away from the polls, because then you get caught in that situation of voter fraud.
The
Voter fraud,
ballot.
be very careful.
The ballot of Mary's mother.
Or, and if you don't,
That could be a poem.
political man will come for you.
Yeah.
And you know what political man song could be? When she finds herself in times of trouble, Mary's mother calls to him.
Amy.
Speaking words of wisdom.
Absentee.
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 Absentee. Absentee. Oh, absentee. There will be an answer, Mary. And your mother.
Absentee.
Absentee.
Voting Mary's mother.
I
Absentee.
hate everybody in this room.
It's a big word.
Hate or absentee?
Hate.
All right, hey, so Amy, we were talking about the Electoral
Yeah.
College.
Well, Tim
during the
Walz
break.
was talking about the Electoral College. So Tim Walz said he wants to get rid of the Electoral College, right? Go to a popular vote, because the popular vote, well, it's, by the popular vote, you have a lot of times the Democratic president winning the election, but then the Electoral College comes in and messes everything up. Well, Jonah Goldberg, who's a political pundit, you'll see him on CNN with the Dispatch, he thinks that it would be very unwise to dispose with the Electoral College, but acknowledges, even as the country has changed, as the country has grown, he's very sympathetic to why people are frustrated with it. I will say a lot of my friends, then, like I said, most of my friends are very progressive, hate the Electoral College, want to do away with it. And Jonah Goldberg said, well, while he's sympathetic to why people are frustrated with it, thinks it's unwise to get rid of it, but then brought up reforming the process by growing the House of Representatives.
Right.
I didn't get a chance to hear his whole argument. So, John, you're familiar with this?
Yeah. So the number of House members is locked at 435. And there's no reason that it has to be locked at 435. And if you increase the number of members of Congress, then that would better reflect the population differences between the states. So you get the Electoral College is you get one vote for every member of Congress and one vote for each of your U.S. senators. That's how. So Missouri has 8 members of Congress, 2 U.S. senators. We have 10 electoral votes. So if you created more districts, the effect of having those 2 Senate votes, states that only have 1 member of Congress get 3 electoral votes. And the founders were not trustful of direct democracy. Senators weren't elected by the people initially, and the Electoral College was put in place because there was a very strong desire to have a federalist system in place, and elections are the function of individual states. Every state has their own election laws. They conduct their own elections the way they want to do it, and to reflect that in the presidential election, which is the only election in this country that takes place in multiple states, they constructed the Electoral College that would balance and give the smaller states at least some meaningful clout by giving them at least 3 electoral votes.
Yeah, but then you have states like Nebraska, John, that divides them up. How
Right.
come that hasn't taken hold in other states? Because, for
Maine
instance,
does.
I feel like my vote is going to be wasted in Missouri, right? Our 10 electoral votes are going to go to Donald Trump, yet everybody I know is going to vote for Kamala Harris.
Well, if she gets the most votes, she'll get the electoral
But I
votes.
mean, so could there be an effort that doesn't compromise doing away with the Electoral College, but changes it where you could do an allocation based on districts. Could states can start to consider that?
They could do that, and there's nothing stopping them from doing that. And the state is sovereign over their election laws, and I like it that way. So, and I do like the Electoral College. Have you ever been an elector?
No.
I have. I'm a member of the Electoral College.
Oh, congratulations.
2001, I cast a vote for George W. Bush as an elector from Missouri.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's usually a ceremonial job, but there are some people who are going to jail over casting fake Electoral College ballots. That's what a lot of the Trump prosecutions are taking place.
Well, yeah, there's some of that. The phony sets of electors that they were constructed in a lot of those.
You imagine you
battleground
going
states.
down to Jefferson City doing what you think you're supposed to do, and then you're caught up in all this nonsense?
Yeah.
So what did you do? Did you was it a ceremony?
We
Was
showed
it-
up. We were in the House Lounge at the state capitol with Thomas Hart Benton mural all around us. Secretary of State Becky Cook came in and gave us some instruction. That's the woman that beat me in 1996. Anyway, and then as electors, we signed the official form, and there it was.
That was it?
That was it.
Oh, wow.
So again, by increasing the members of the House, then states with larger populations like California, like New York, would have
Texas
would have more weight, but wouldn't necessarily dictate the direction of the country like it would with a popular vote. Whereas states like Wyoming or South Dakota they wouldn't even matter. It would be the country would be completely decided by New York and California and Texas.
Oh yeah, pretty much. And you know, the one thing about what we're doing now in this race, there's 7 states that are battleground states, and you know, Nevada is the smallest of them, and I guess Pennsylvania is the largest of them. I'm guessing it could be Michigan, but I think it's Pennsylvania. Wisconsin's got 10, just like we do. I don't know. There's something about appealing a candidacy to individual states that is, for me, very refreshing, because I like the federalism. I think we've gotten away from federalism in this country to our own detriment.
But it just, for purposes of argument's sake, there's a lot of us in, I don't know, 75% of the states who never get to see a presidential candidate.
Right.
Because the Electoral College has decided they're not coming to St. Louis and Kansas City anymore.
Used to.
Right. But we're not unique, right? Wouldn't some change in the system force these people to be campaigning in states other than Pennsylvania and Michigan? We would actually see them show up.
Well, they'd be in
and care
California,
about the
they'd be
issues.
in California, New York, and Texas all the time.
Right.
You know.
Well, but listen, while California goes heavy blue and under a national popular vote, the margin's not that big. I mean, they got 5-6 million votes on you. So what? I mean, you
So
come
what
out
do
here,
what do
you
you-
got 5-6 million votes on us out here.
Well, what do you say to the idea that, and this is, I think, where it doesn't sit well with a lot of people, the fact that it's been 20 years since a Republican has won in the presidency, has won the popular vote, meaning more people want a different candidate than that, but that's the one that's won like half the time. So if more people want a particular person to be president and that's the one who loses, isn't there something a little off about that? Like 3 or 4 or 7 more million people want candidate A to be president, but
Yeah.
because of the Electoral College, B wins? There's
Yeah, it's
something a
messed
little
up.
off about that.
It's messed up to a certain extent. I mean, look, I'm not questioning the folks who wrote our government because they were genius and a lot of what they put
Yeah.
together.
And I'm not suggesting that we do away
Yeah.
with it altogether, but there's got to be
But for the purpose of this argument,
yeah.
I mean, even Jonah Goldberg, a conservative, is saying, hey, maybe we ought to look at adjusting this. Just spitballing. I mean, I live in a state that doesn't matter, and, you know, my candidate's never going to matter here. But yet, I'm just as important. It would be great if we were to see these folks campaigning in states they're not showing up at right now, caring about Missouri and Illinois.
Was 1996 Bill Clinton? Was that the
Yes.
last time that Missouri?
No, 2000 we were targeted.
Sorry, that they vote, but Missouri went like the electoral votes went blue. Did they go for Clinton?
Oh,
in
yeah.
96? Yeah.
Yeah, in the 20th century.
So that was the last time, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 20th century, Missouri was the bellwether state in the country.
Yeah.
It only voted for the losing candidate once. That was 1956 for Adlai Stevenson. And that was close. Every other election in that century, whoever won the White House carried Missouri. And so in 2000, Bush won. It carried the state. He carried the state in 2004. In 2008, McCain narrowly carried the state over Obama. That was the first time that situation broke. And then, but it did go for Clinton both times. Missouri.
Yeah. And it's interesting you brought up 2008. The votes, I'm seeing 49.3% for Obama, 49.4% for McCain.
Close.
That's pretty darn close.
Very
but
close.
it looks
And
like the
then
last
Romney carried the state by 7 points, I think.
Yeah.
In 2012.
I think what's wild about that is now thinking about what Missouri is since that election and thinking about the fact that I can't even believe it was that close.
Well, we were
Well,
undergoing a realignment at that time. Missouri, historically, Republicans won the state down the I-44 corridor, St. Louis County, all the way down into southwest Missouri. Democrats won everything else. North Missouri, southeast Missouri was a Democrat bulkhead for years. And those rural voters began shifting. And you saw that happening in southern states, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. Those states were all Democrat since the Civil War, and as was Missouri. And the southern states started changing more quickly than Missouri did. Missouri is one of the last states, Missouri and Kentucky, two of them, they were border states during the Civil War. And so you saw that pattern changing. And what's happened in the Trump era is that suburbs have begun shifting from Republican to Democratic voters. That's going to have potentially a much longer lasting impact. But Missouri switched because the voting patterns shifted.
Let's not forget that Barack Obama had his biggest rally in that presidential cycle right here in St. Louis. There were 1 million people on the Arch Grounds. That was a movement campaign. But that was at a time that he was actually showing up and campaigning in Missouri. I actually think these states would be more competitive if we saw the candidates. I think there's a lot of people who are checking out because, I'm from Missouri. I say to people all the time, I'm from Missouri. We're going to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I'm not, but and I think that if we were competitive and we saw these candidates, maybe it would be a little bit tighter because it wasn't that long ago that a Barack Obama got 1 million people on the Arch Grounds. We didn't all leave town.
Yeah,
I'm still here.
When Biden was here a couple of years ago, what year was that? It wasn't.
It would have been leading up to the election.
I don't remember him campaigning.
Yeah, he campaiged down at
Keener Plaza.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was nothing like the Barack Obama rally.
Right.
I lived at 20th and Washington, which is 25 blocks from the Arch. I know that sounds messed up, but it's like 25 blocks from the Arch. And we walked from there. People were parking that far away.
Oh, wow.
It was an unbelievable day. Coolest thing I've ever done politically, and I've done some cool stuff, was going to that rally.
You guys going to do some cool stuff for the rest of the day?
I'm going to go get my teeth kicked in for a little while.
You won last week.
Did I?
Yeah, 3-2.
Well, I'm going to go win again today and then get my weekend started.
I just feel like you just use Michael. You're like he's your Washington Generals.
Well, when it comes to snooker, yeah, definitely.
Too many foul points on me last time. Very unlucky.
Foul? How do you get a foul?
You don't hit the object ball or you scratch the cue ball.
Oh,
man.
Never scratch the cue ball.
Well, when you're playing position, Ron, sometimes if you got to go 3 cushions, you just don't know where the cue
Why
ball's
would you
gonna end
ever
up.
go 3 cushions?
I never go 3 cushions.
Well, you got to get into the next shot.
Oh, jeez. That just seems like way too much.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
that
3
is like
cushions.
way too many cushions.
Boys, have a good afternoon.
See you
good
guys.
weekend. We'll see you next week.
You bet.
Bye now.
John Hancock, Michael Kelly. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
When was the last time you watched your home movies? Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast. We always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Most of us know if it's a government program, it's hard to understand and full of red tape. Here's the problem. When you get into retirement, like it or not, you could possibly be depending heavily on Social Security and Medicare, and you'll probably need some help navigating through all the details. That's where Steve All in the All Financial Group can help. Join Steve and his team at their office on October 23rd, where Steve will discuss Social Security and special guest and Medicare consultant Scott Stream will present on Medicare. This event is complimentary, but you must qualify to attend. Call 636-230-8824 or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Scott Stream and Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC are not affiliated.
Experience the music of something big beginning, an era exploding, a century spinning right here in the heartland. Ragtime Music. Stages St. Louis proudly presents the Tony Award-winning musical Ragtime, a powerful and timeless story that brings together 3 distinct worlds with unforgettable characters and a score that will move your soul. Ragtime runs now through October 20th at the Ross Family Theater in the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. Get tickets at stagesstlewis.org or call 314-821-2407.
Join the movement to end breast cancer on October 19th by supporting the American Cancer Society making strides against breast cancer. You're helping save lives through groundbreaking research discovery and patient support. Get info or donate at makingstrideswalk.org/St. Louis Mo.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
I'm Scott Jagow. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy?
Ron, you're never going to believe it.
Oh, no.
I can't. Okay. It's already too much. You remember
What
Remember
happened?
when Jizzlebucks got caught?
Yeah.
Jizzlebucks was a leader of a gang,
Yeah.
the 55 Boys,
Mhm.
dealing fentanyl, just doing all sorts of stuff. He rapped about all his crimes and his drugs and the fentanyl and all that. And anyway, they got him. You're never going to believe it. They got Hothead Capone.
Hothead Capone.
Yeah. So Hothead Capone.
It's not a bad rap name. I kind of like that one.
Hothead Capone, he is a gang member, and he left the St. Louis area because of like probation violations and gun and drug offenses. And so he fled the area, but he came back because he wanted to film a music video.
Oh.
And so when he was filming the music video, police descended on the music video shoot, and they found all sorts of issues like guns and things like that. So they got him. They got Hothead Capone.
Well,
I feel like if you're running from the police, you shouldn't go back to the city where you're wanted.
that's the last place they're going to look.
Yeah, right. There is something to be said for right under your nose, you know, because like, oh, hey, they would never think that Hothead Capone would film his music video in St. Louis if they're looking for him in St. Louis. But lo and behold.
Amy, did you see the story out of Portland, Oregon? Police seized a bag full of drugs. It had fentanyl and meth, and they seized it during a traffic stop on October 8th.
Where was this?
In Portland.
Oh.
Well, the bag
Yeah.
that was holding the drugs, which also had a firearm in it,
Mm-hmm.
the bag read, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs."
No, it didn't.
Yes. And it was full of drugs.
Are you?
Swear to God.
That's kind of the
this
same
happened.
strategy that Hothead Capone had.
It's pretty awesome. Definitely
Like,
not a bag full of drugs. And it had fentanyl. It had 10 grams of that. It had meth. It had the weapon. And they were also in possession of a stolen vehicle.
That's
so it was a
incredible.
couple had a bag full of drugs.
To be honest,
Awesome.
I kind of love it.
I think it's awesome.
I love it. You know, one time when I was on the Charlie Brennan show, and Chris Myhill, the executive producer, also there was a rapper name generator that if you typed in some stuff about yourself, just
Yep.
some info, it would generate a rap name for you. Mine was Donuts Capone.
I don't like that one.
Well, that's rude. That was the name it picked for me. Donuts Capone.
I don't like it.
How can you like Hothead Capone and not like Donuts Capone?
Because Donuts Capone doesn't make sense.
What if it's donuts like with a Z to make it cooler?
Nah, that doesn't really do anything for me.
Would you have been Jizzlebucks?
I absolutely might have been Jizzlebucks. If it had not been taken,
What about Ron Bob SquarePants?
dude, I love that one. So Matt Pajeski every day on our we have he gives us a little sheet with things that we need to read.
Schedule.
And he always has a different name for me at the top, and one of them is Ron Bob SquarePants, which I kind of like.
Well, what I love is that I was in the bathroom one time and I crossed paths with Debbie Monterey, and she looked at me dead serious and said, "How long has Chris been Ron Bob SquarePants?" Longer than you realize, probably.
Amy, did you see the Northern Lights last night?
No, I completely missed it. Did you see them?
I even went up to the roof and I didn't see them, but no, I missed them. But apparently there will be parts of the area you kind of have to get away from
Yeah.
the city where you might be able to see Northern Lights
you
again tonight.
Remember several months ago this summer,
Yes.
you could see them, and
Yeah.
it was almost like you could see them in your peripheral vision. And what's crazy is that they actually showed up better on the iPhone.
That's right.
So
They
when
were
you-
telling people to point at the sky and take photos.
Which also is a little bit deceiving because you would see those pictures on Instagram and think, man, it was beautiful there. And I could tell you it wasn't because I was there and you couldn't really see much with the naked eye.
No, it was a real huge disappointment. Just
Well-
kind of like the eclipse was this year. I thought it was disappointing.
The clips was underwhelming.
Yeah, I like the one from a few years ago better.
That
Got
one was-
darker.
that one was awesome.
That was scary. When we come back, we're going to talk to Scott Jagow. He has been roaming St. Louis. He's got 3 good things to tell us about as well. KMOX reporter and anchor Scott Jagow next on the Chris and Amy Show.
She learned the value of hard work and responsibility at her family's small business at an early age. Ann Wagner took those same hard-working Missouri values to Washington. She's made it her job to keep the radical left from harming your job. Today, in the midst of Joe Biden's out-of-control inflation, Ann Wagner protects us by working to lower costs for families. As a mother of 3, she understands the work and has done it to keep your home and community safe. That's why Ann Wagner fought to secure our border and stop traffickers from smuggling fentanyl and illegal immigrants into our communities, and why she gave law enforcement the tools they need to defend us. And Ann Wagner took a stand against the defund the police radicals who will leave us in harm's way. She'll always back our brave law enforcement officers, putting conservative values to work for us. Ann Wagner for Congress. Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
Me!
That's why California psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
What better way to support your nutrition than with the multivitamin that was created right here in St. Louis? Neovitin Original Multivitamin was created by St. Louis physician Dr. Ribicki to support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Now, Neovitin Original Multivitamin is formulated with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Ribicki's proprietary blend to give you nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Neovitin is now conveniently available through our no-obligation monthly subscription. Cancel or pause at any time, and shipping is free. Support your nutrition with a subscription to Neovitin at neovitin.com today.
Life can throw curveballs our way, just like the sudden car accident that put me in a coma 30 years ago, long before I became the Cardinal Cowboy. And just like recovering from bumps in the road, we all need reliable help when things go wrong. At Renner Garage, they understand unexpected setbacks. Whether it's a repair, a new door, or a LiftMaster opener, Renner has the team of trusted experts who know how to lift you up and get you back on track. You know the name, RENNER, forward and back, RennerDoorSTL.com. Giddy up.
It's 11 o'clock in mid-America. We've got sunshine and 72 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Decision 2024.
Hurricanes Helene and Milton have reshaped the presidential race's final days, with both candidates scrapping campaign events while addressing the storms.
Kamala Harris is trying to use the storms as a chance to show bipartisan leadership, saying she's spoken with state and local leaders in affected states.
Both Republican and Democrat, to let them know we will be with you every step of the way as you recover.
While Donald Trump's ripped the federal response in GOP-dominated states like North Carolina.
They've let those people suffer unjustly.
Both Harris and President Biden have been calling out Trump and Republicans for spreading misinformation about the response.
Get a life, man. Help these people.
Meantime, the storms have also scrambled the voting process in some key areas. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Hundreds of people rescued in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton. CBS's Vlad Duthier from St. Petersburg.
In daylight, Hurricane Milton's devastation on Florida's west coast became clear. The storm's historic rainfall submerged communities as first responders spent Thursday rescuing people stranded in homes and apartment buildings, and this 14-year-old boy floating on debris.
Israel conducted a massive airstrike in Beirut overnight. Its forces fired at a watchtower used by UN peacekeepers in southern Lebanon, injuring 2 of them. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick has more on the efforts to stop the violence.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called the violence a threat to global security.
And we must do everything to avoid an all-out war.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken, traveling in Laos, said one of the main challenges is Hezbollah taking over most state functions in Lebanon, and he urged the Lebanese to make a change.
The people of Lebanon have an interest, a strong interest, in the state asserting itself and taking responsibility for the country.
Israel's offensive has displaced more than 1 million people in Lebanon.
The Yankees shut down the Royals.
The New York Yankees jumped on Kansas City Royals starter Michael Wacha early and clinched the best-of-5 American League Division Series with a 3-1 victory. Through 7 innings, Yankees starter Garrett Cole held the Royals to 6 hits, 3 by outfielder Tommy Pham, and Cole picked up the victory.
We're focused. We're trying to improve the brand of baseball that we're playing as we continue to get deeper into October. even when you're banged up, you feel the same way.
In the opening inning, Glaber Torres doubled and scored. Then in the sixth, after Waka had departed, Aaron Judge led off with a double and also scored. Greg Eklund, Kansas City.
The KMOX Business Desk, another front for the unionization push.
Some Apple Store employees in Maryland have filed a union election petition with the NLRB as organizing continues at the tech giant's locations. More than 70% of the 59 employees working in retail, repair, and other roles at the suburban Washington, D.C. store have signed union cards and will be represented by the Communications Workers of America. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel up 342 points to 42,796. Stalled vehicle 70 west at Riverview. Roadwork 6440 east at I-170. Left 2 lanes closed there.
Plenty of sunshine and very warm this afternoon with a high of 88. Mainly clear tonight, though 63. Sunshine mixing with clouds tomorrow and becoming hot with a high of 91. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
We've got sunshine, 72 in Florissant, 72 St. Peters, and 72 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Navigating politics with a balanced perspective, fostering discussions, not arguments. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Chris and Amy show on KMOX. It's Friday and it's hour 2. We always talk to our guy, Scott Jagow, at this time.
We love Scott
is
Jagow.
Anchor, reporter here at KMOX. He's always about town. He knows all the things going on in the St. Louis area.
That's kind of true.
He's always roaming St. Louis. He's always got 3 good things for us, and he's always chatting with Stu Mac.
Right.
So what do you have for us
Got
today?
all of those this week. So I went to Hot Pizza Cold Beer for roaming St. Louis, which is just around the corner here on Washington, close to the bridge. It's next to High Point and across from Sugar Fire.
Okay.
They're all owned by the same people.
AKA the former Pie Pizza, right?
It used to be Pie.
Oh, okay. It's okay. I know
It's
exactly
in the
what you're
same
talking
space.
About. Yeah, there's a theater over there, or is that?
Yeah,
theater
there's a
still there?
theater.
I don't want to brag, but I knew all of this because I listened to TIAM on the Odyssey app.
Wow.
So I caught him
There you
earlier
go.
this
Nice.
morning. I know.
Yeah, they make good pizza, I got to tell you. And they got a pretty good beer selection. In fact, Urban Chestnut made a pizza pilsner just for Hot Pizza Cold Beer, and it's excellent. It's excellent. I had it the other day, and they have collaborations. I mean, the guy who runs it with his partners is Mike Johnson.
Yep.
So
Mike's been in here.
Yeah, he's a prominent St. Louis, and I would say he's had some failures in the restaurant business. He
Chicken
admits
Out.
things like
Which
that,
was-
and
I
fine
thought
dining
it was really
too.
good. It just,
but it taught him how to run restaurants, and the ones he has now are doing pretty well. Sugar Fire has about 20 locations, and then High Point is connected to Four Hands out in Chesterfield. They're together as a partner, and now Sugar Fire is going into Urban Chestnut in the Grove. So that's another combo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have barbecue and pizza, because the dough that's used at that Hot Pizza Cold Beer, they use it over at Urban Chestnut. And what I would say is he hired the right people to do this. This Hot Pizza Cold Beer is fairly new. I had the pizza; it's excellent, and the guys who do it, one of them went to pizza school.
There's a pizza school?
Yes, in Chicago.
Oh,
so
pizza school in Chicago.
If this doesn't work out, Chris, maybe
you know what?
That's your future.
I might send my resume.
He might have already been
I
going
might-
to school. Like he's going to school on the weekends. That's what
That
he's doing.
maybe
in
that's what he's been
Chicago.
doing.
yeah.
I
That's
know.
why he goes up there.
So the name of the place is Hot Pizza Cold Beer.
Yes, very simple.
I wonder if
you
it's
can't
the-
miss. I mean, it's either the worst name in the world or it's the
Yeah.
best.
What's the vibe?
The vibe is a little bit sports bar-y,
Okay.
but kind of lunch, downtown lunch, since it is downtown. They do slices, which not every pizza place does.
Yeah,
so
you have
can
to
get
buy a whole
slices
pizza
at-
most
I
yeah,
places.
you don't
I
have
like
to.
that.
Yeah, and the salad is excellent too. They have a nice lemon vinaigrette that I had. So I give it high marks. I think
So-
it's going to do well.
Hot Pizza Cold Beer.
That's where I went for roaming St. Louis.
That's pretty
Excellent.
awesome.
Yeah, that actually sounds really good. And what's funny is I don't know if pizza's having, not that it ever was on the decline, but if it's having a resurgence or they're pushing it, because have you noticed there's a Pepsi commercial now where they're like, pizza tastes better with Pepsi, and the whole Pepsi commercial is how you drink Pepsi with pizza. And so now, like you said, there's a pizza Pilsner. There's really a lot of pizza centric advertising.
Pizza tastes the best. It tastes the best with Pepsi, but it's got to be in those red plastic cups.
Okay,
No,
that's very specific.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
The red plastic
Thick,
pizza place
not,
cups.
not red Solo cups, but the red plastic that's kind of translucent.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut.
Yes, the Pizza Hut, the pizza place.
Oh yeah,
those
yeah,
cups.
definitely.
Yeah.
It does taste better in those cups for some reason.
And if you're wearing shin pads because it's
Although
after soccer practice, that's what I picture.
I'd rather have Coke, but
Coke is also. Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh, so did you hear about the Pocket Park?
Yeah, isn't it down by the bridge? It's down by Laclede's Landing, right?
It's at Laclede's Landing. It took 100 volunteers 3 to 4 hours to build an entire park because it's small.
Yeah.
It's a pocket park, and it has a mini disc golf course and statues that you can use to play the game. So the statues, or not statues, sculptures, you know, they're obstacles on the course. Anyway, it's this company, a nonprofit called Pocket Parks. And this is the 6th one they've done in the area.
Yeah.
And it just got me thinking about things that are small, that are cool. So I looked up a few things. So
Okay,
here we go.
Small, cool things.
Well, there's a nano Bible that is the size of a speck of dust.
What?
And it easily fits on a pen. It is a silicone chip, and each word was written with a ion beam generator. So in order to read the text, it would have to be magnified 10,000 times.
What? Okay, so
but this exists.
It is the entire Bible?
Yes, 0.04 square millimeters.
You know what? I don't believe them. They could tell us anything's on it. I don't believe them at all. Sorry.
They could tell. It may not
where
even
is this
exist.
thing?
1.2 million words. Yeah.
Where's this?
I don't know. It's somewhere.
It's an outright lie.
Is it King James?
I don't know.
I don't believe it.
It's just called the Nano Bible.
Okay.
I mean,
The
I don't
Nano
think they
Bible.
make that up.
Well,
How
you
about,
wouldn't
how
make it
about
up.
how about the tiny house? No, I'm not talking tiny house. I'm talking tiny
right.
house. Okay.
Oh, like you wouldn't live in it.
The human hair is around 70 microns wide. This house is 20. So
Come on.
What?
Is there furniture
it
in
was
it?
built inside a vacuum chamber, and it required nano robots to assemble it out of silica membranes.
Where is this thing?
I don't believe anything that's going
what
to
is,
say.
what is happening? I'm not making
I don't believe this
in
either.
a style similar to making origami. I mean, it doesn't really serve any purpose because what are you going to fit in there?
This is an outright lie. These people are
That would
lying
be like
to you,
me
Scott.
holding up my finger and saying, "You can't see it, but that speck of dust on my finger, I have the entire Bible on that." And you'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, see what's on my hand right now?
I'm
There's
not-
a whole
I'm not
house
done yet.
here. Okay. Oh, there's more.
World's smallest guitar is just 10 microns long. So that's 1/7 of a human hair's width. This is at Cornell University. They made it to demonstrate the technology, which could have far-reaching capabilities in things like electronics and fiber optics. You need an atomic force microscope to play the guitar.
But you can play
But
it.
you can actually play it.
What do you plug
can't-
it
You can't hear it.
You plug into an
because
amp?
It's impossibly high pitched.
I don't believe it. They're lying
It's
about
the
this.
size
right
of
now.
a
the
blood
last
cell.
one. The
Okay.
last
That-
one for you to debunk.
that nano guitar is the size of a human blood cell."
This is
Yeah.
what I said.
Sure. Okay.
All right. And finally,
What?
the world's smallest movie. It has to be magnified 100 million times. The team used carbon monoxide molecules to tell a 1 minute long frame by frame story of a stick figure boy and his single molecule pet.
AKA every time you try to send a video from an iPhone to Ranji's stupid Android.
Viewers on IMDb gave it only 6.5 out of 10.
Can I see it somewhere else, or is that the only place I could see it is on this nano thing?
I mean,
Do
you
I
have
need
to
do I need
magnify-
carbon monoxide? Is that what it is? Carbon monoxide?
That's what it says.
So I have to pass out and die to watch it?
Well,
I
don't
I
believe
didn't
it.
say that. You didn't believe any of it.
I think it's all.
So I'm here to disinform you.
It's all erroneous.
See, like for me, the smallest thing that I believe is I've seen the people that can paint pictures on a grain of rice. That I believe. It's a grain of rice. You can see it. Anything smaller than rice,
Yeah.
I don't think it's true.
You don't think it's true?
No, they're lying to us.
The people at Cornell are like, these idiots.
Well, to take this in another direction,
Yeah.
something huge, the Titanic.
The Titanic is bigger than
This is what Stumac came in with this week. He goes, we need to do a chat about the Titanic. And I said, why?
The actual Titanic?
Yes, the
Or
actual
okay.
Titanic.
All
He
right.
was reading a novel that was set with the Titanic, and he was getting really into it. So he was telling me all the life lessons we should have learned, but maybe we didn't from the Titanic.
Can you give us a hint? Because this is going to be on Chat with Stumac on Sunday.
Yes. He said things like being prepared for disasters of any kind, whether they be small or large. So in his house, making sure his kids know the exit plan and things like that. So he's being prepared and mourning the loss of loved ones, teaching your kids about that. And he got a little in life coachy. And so yeah.
So you cut him off?
And then he admitted that, and I told him that he was, because he said, quote, life is a voyage.
Oh my God. All right. Chat
You know
with
what I
Stumac
love is that
Sunday.
you could turn on
Well, we
KMOX on
I-
Sunday morning and
But we
it's
turned it into kind of a funny piece, but it's not really.
it's trippy.
Chat with Stumac.
It's trippy, man. You got to turn on total
Roaming
It's fun.
St. Louis,
Yeah.
3 good things, all with Scott Jagow coming up Sunday morning.
Chat with Stumac, Hancock and Kelly,
Oh, yeah.
sports with Ackerman, Johnny
Awesome.
Rabbit. It's all 6:30 to 9:30 Sunday morning.
It's appointment radio.
Here on KMOX, Kansas City Chiefs have a bye week, but we're still going to talk Chiefs football with Dane and
They'll
Hughes.
still probably win.
When we come back.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
213 Flashpoint Complex will take you to the next level. It increases your metabolism, fights cravings, gives you all-day focused energy with no crash, and at night, it helps you burn fat by lowering cortisol levels. 213 Flashpoint Complex is available at Supplement Superstores. Find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Genesis of St. Charles is knocking it out of the park. They're #1 in Genesis sales with the biggest inventory around. In fact, selection at Genesis of St. Charles is the best they've ever had. So head to their state-of-the-art facility and see for yourself and take advantage of 0% financing through the end of October. See dealer for details. Stop in today at Genesis of St. Charles, a quarter-mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive off 70, or online at genesisofstcharles.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Universal Windows Direct. So fall is here. It's the perfect time to replace those old drafty windows before winter sets in. For every 2 windows you buy, get 2 for free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Buy 20, get 20. There's no limit. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 314-334-2522 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Again, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free, and 60 months. That's 5 years, same as cash, 0% financing. Go to UWD.com.
When you bought your home, you took on more than just a house payment. You spend weekends on upkeep, repairs drain your bank account, and with your equity locked up, you can't do anything. You love your home and want to stay, but it's a constant struggle. What if you could sell your home, reclaim your weekends and not have to move. You can with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. Truehold will buy your home now while the market is high. You can bank all that equity in cash and stay in your home with a lease. Plus, you won't have to worry about property taxes, insurance, or upkeep anymore. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Join thousands that have secured their retirement, paid off bills, and financed their dreams. Get an offer now while the market is hot. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com or call 855-300-9993. Truehold.com. Truehold.com.
Paid for by government.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 50 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-888-201-7082. And you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-888-201-7082. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-888-201-7082 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-888-201-7082.
Your home of the Cardinals.
Arenado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of there.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win!
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
We are America's sports voice. KMOX.
Kingdom. Welcome to the Red Kingdom. Yeah. Red Kingdom.
Chris and Amy show on KMOX. It is a bye week for the Kansas City Chiefs. KMOX is, of course, your St. Louis home for Chiefs football, a team that is undefeated to nobody's surprise. We go to the Quiver River Electric guest line. So as the Chiefs have some time here to get themselves ready for week 7, we bring in Danon Hughes, who is the Chiefs analyst on the radio side. You hear him on KMOX. Danon, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy bye week. There's fun times here in the Chiefs Kingdom. So yeah, we got a little bit of a break and we're trying to savor every moment of it and all this beautiful weather.
Well, and condolences to the Royals. I know it was a tough task taking on the Yankees, but it was close. It was competitive.
I kind of sense that there's a smirk on your face.
No.
I don't know.
There's not.
I'm saying that.
Yeah, I can't believe she'd do that.
I was rooting. I think I said this. I told Danon my fiance is from Kansas City, and we were going to go try to get tickets to the next round so we could make it to Kansas City. So I was rooting because I've never been to a baseball game outside of Busch Stadium. So I was excited to go to Kauffman, but next time.
Yeah, it was a rough night. I was actually there. I did not go Wednesday, and we lost. So I felt like it was my duty to go Thursday just in case I was the catalyst to change things because, as a team player that I am, I wanted to make sure that I sacrificed everything possible to try to make the magic happen, but I just did not bring enough. I did not have enough in the gas tank to help us get more than one run. And it's unfortunate.
Well, it's because you have given all of your magic to the football team, which continues to be undefeated, Danon. And as I said a moment ago, I don't think anybody is surprised about this.
Yeah, I think there are some people that are surprised based on the injuries. I mean, I can't think back to, I don't think anybody here in Kansas City or in the Chiefs Kingdom is surprised because we've set the bar so high. Andy Reid, Brett Veach, the Hunt family, everybody set the bar so high that I think there's an assumption that we'll go out and win every game because we have the best quarterback in the league, we have the best tight end in the league, we have the best defensive lineman in the league, and we have the youngest and greatest talent core of young guys in the league as well. So there may not have been surprises around all of us. on the airwaves and all of us around the kingdom that know this team. But if you consider losing your top running back, losing two of your top receivers, you might think that, okay, somewhere that's going to catch up to you. And we've been so fortunate that we have assembled a host of talent, either by a free agency or mainly by the draft, that have been able to pick up where guys have left off. Not saying that they're better, but they're serviceable and we're getting the job done. And you have heard me say it. It's not 162 games. It's not 82 games. It's 17 games once a week, and you just have to win that one per week. And somehow, some way, we figured out a way to do that 5 times.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that they're sitting at 5-0. No Rashee Rice, no Hollywood Brown. Do you think that the Chiefs will be pretty aggressive and looking maybe for a trade, maybe to shore up that wide receiving core that has faced those injuries?
Yeah, that's been the question over the last couple of weeks. And Amy, I believe that that's not going to be the case. I just think, as a former wide receiver, I was talking to somebody at the Royals game last night, and they were asking about the wide receiver room and the difficulty. And I was like, you know what? It's just tough to not only absorb a playbook, but to absorb a playbook, get on the same page as your quarterback, and then go out when the bullets are flying to be able to perform on that stage just once a week for a new guy coming into it. That's why I think it's so special that Juju Smith-Schuster and Kareem Hunt have been able to come in. Part of it is the familiarity of being a part of this system. The other part I think is so cool and really funny is that other organizations have to be kicking themselves that they could not, this is an ego-driven league as well, just like all sports and all businesses, I'm sure, to some extent. But there's something to be said and something funny about these guys performed at the height of their abilities to garner being, marketable to other teams, for 31 other companies to look at them and say, you know what, one of these other companies wants my services. And then for those teams, whether it's the Cleveland Browns for Kareem or for the New England Patriots, the Juju Smith-Schuster, not get anything from them. Oh, let's add Jody Fortson in there with the Miami Dolphins. Not get anything from them to the point of releasing them, only to see them a couple of weeks later perform and contribute on Monday Night Football with the Chiefs against the Saints. Like that, there's some comic relief in that, but there's also some pure football knowledge and understanding by our scouting department and Andy Reid to be able to take guys off the shelf and insert them in a way to play winning football. So I just think that we're not necessarily in a system that would warrant going and getting somebody off of their couch now and saying, hey, get this entire book. This is what's that big book? World of Peace?
War and Peace?
War and Peace,
yeah.
Yes, War and Peace. Take this big War and Peace book, soak it up, and be ready for next week when we go to San Francisco. And oh, by the way, there'll be 11 other people trying to take your head off, but make sure you remember everything in it.
We spend a lot of time talking about the Chiefs in terms of offense and, Patrick Mahomes, and he's the best. Why's the defense been so good? Because they have.
The defense, I think, has been the story of this season and most of last season. And like I said, when you got the best tight end, the best quarterback in the league, and the high-profile nature of those guys, sometimes the defense gets left in the back seat, sometimes even in the trunk, and nobody's recognizing the greatness of this defense. And when you look at, to me, the greatest part of this defense isn't necessarily just the production, it's who's producing. We're talking about second-year and third-year guys getting the job done for the most part. Nick Bolton, George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie, Brian Cook with the interception last week, Jalen Watson, a low draft pick, Shamari Connor, second year. I mean, you're talking about guys that have contributed in major fashion, and I'm not even sure they can rent a car yet. I don't know if they're old enough to rent cars. And so that's so special. And Steve Spagnuolo has been known to have great defenses, but usually they take some time to become great. Usually take a few weeks. The fact that this defense has picked up where they left off last year in that Super Bowl run and win has been, to me, one of the great stories of this entire run and hopefully of this three-peat.
Well, Danon, the Chiefs will enjoy at least another week of being undefeated. They will play again next week. It'll be in San Francisco, a team that hasn't been off to a hot start. We will we're going to talk to you again next Friday, Danon. So enjoy your bye week this week, and we'll do it again next Friday and preview the 49ers game.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about that because I feel like there's going to be a little bit of extra emotion from the 49er fans and the team in that game. Something tells me that they got a chip on their shoulder.
Danon, I think you're probably right. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Danon, we'll talk in a week.
All right, y'all have a great weekend.
Chiefs radio analyst, former wide receiver, Danon Hughes with us every Friday here on KMOX. When we come back, Claibs, we'll talk some baseball. We'll talk some blues with Mike Claiborne after this.
When can you retire? When should you tap your 401k? Will you have enough money to live on? We all have retirement questions that stress us out, but Steve Aul can help answer those questions and more so that you'll feel confident about the next phase of your life.
My job is to sit down with people and actually figure out what their wishes, hopes, and dreams are. It's about a standard of living, not an amount of money. It's how they want to live in retirement.
Join Steve every Saturday morning at 10 for the All Financial Hour right here on KMOX.
Brian.
Yes, Sarah?
What is the point of making junk disappear?
We make space for possibility.
Oh, that's huge.
Why do people want junk to disappear?
To make space for possibility.
And who gives them this new space?
We do.
And how do we do it?
We make junk disappear.
And what does a person need to do to make all this happen?
All you have to do is point.
We make space for possibility.
We make space for possibility.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Tune in to the Home Improvement Show, sponsored by Mosby Building Arts, Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX for expert advice on remodeling, design, and construction. This live Q&A show begins at 11 a.m. or find podcasts at mosbybuildingarts.com.
At 11:30, we've got sun. It is 74 downtown at the Arch. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis at a storm recovery briefing today says Florida's school children are returning to their classrooms.
19 school districts that were closed yesterday have reopened today. There are at least 7 other school districts opening on Monday.
Road work on 141 going south at Elam Avenue. That's got the right shoulder closed. A disabled vehicle, 6440 going east at Winghaven. That's on the right shoulder. Plenty of sunshine today with a high of 88 for tonight. Clear, low 63 for tomorrow. Hot 91. Could be record breaking. Right now, sun and 74. Temperatures already rising downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. As the cool fall weather sets in, just imagine enjoying the season in your beautiful sunroom, or maybe out on the patio with your fire pit, your built-in pizza oven. I don't know. I'm just dreaming along with you of what your outdoor space could be when you call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. And if you wonder what that means, well, I'll tell you. They're not going to be your cheapest bid when you get your bids, but they're going to give you the best value because they always use the highest quality products and the best installation because they have their own team with years of experience and they stand behind everything they do. That's how they've been around for 56 years. A third-generation family-owned local company, Chesterfield Fence and Deck, will help you with project design. They'll even come to you with a free in-home estimate or stop by their beautiful showroom and warehouse in the Chesterfield Valley. Mention me, Debbie Monterey, and they'll take 20% off your next outdoor project. Visit online now at chesterfieldfence.com.
Hey guys, Glover here, welcoming a brand new Michaels to KMOX. Michaels Baths joins KMOX and the DGS. If you're ready to remodel your bathroom, get rid of the old shower, replace it with something more modern, maybe a walk-in shower with safety features, call Mike and his team. Family-owned and locally owned always 30 to 50% lower than the competition. Michaels has all 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ BBB rating. That's Michaels Baths, 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team live in St. Louis. 2 days only at the Hilton Frontenac, Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and 10th. Register now at DelHelpMeNow.com. That's DelHelpMeNow.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. DelHelpMeNow.com. Code 2024.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct different, you have to understand our history. It goes back 60 years to a renowned diamond cutter overseas. From there came years of diamond cutting, manufacturing, and wholesaling, supplying exquisite fine diamonds only to high-end jewelers. Then eventually the wholesalers started selling direct to the public, and that started a revolution. Today, we are a global diamond powerhouse with hundreds of thousands of customers and an impeccable reputation. But our core values are the same as always. Our diamonds are the highest quality cut by the best craftsmen. Our prices are the most compelling. Our selection is staggering. Our warranties and guarantees are rock solid. And our people are laser focused on helping you find the diamond of your dreams. So as the story unfolds, as the revolution continues, we invite you to experience a jewelry shopping experience unlike any other. Born in excellence, rooted in determination, and thriving in passion. Diamonds Direct. Showroom hours, directions, and more online at diamondsdirect.com.
Bernie Nicholas gets the final word during Sports on a Sunday morning. This Sunday at 11:45 on KMOX.
And Weaver deals to Coryell. A high fly to center. This is it. Judge is there. He makes the catch. Ball game over. American League Division Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Oh, yeah. The Yankees have advanced. They beat the Kansas City Royals in the division series. They go on to the ALCS. John Sterling on the call, Yankees radio, and Luke Weaver closing that one out. It is the Chris and Amy show. We welcome in. This is a nice surprise, Mike Claiborne. I didn't know you were going to be in studio. It's good to see you.
Well, it's good to be here. I was in the vicinity. I had another issue to deal with here at the station, so I thought I'd come in and spend time with two of my favorite people, Amy and Matt Pajeski. And Chris.
Okay.
Of
That's
course.
great. That's great.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. I have an issue to deal with every day. She's sitting right there.
By the way, when I listen to you all, that amuses me so much in how you two
How
go
she's
back
mean
and
to me.
forth.
Well,
And deservedly so in a lot of
come on.
cases.
thank you.
You're like America's wise ass. You know that?
What?
Thank you, Clay.
That's just not nice.
That is a great
That is
title for this
he
guy.
is.
That is America's wise ass.
Yeah. You are.
I'm putting that on the card.
Yeah.
I think you should.
You should have a T-shirt.
Mhm.
America's wise ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll consider that.
I know I don't want to harp on this too much. People know about it, but I don't know if Claves does. He officiated a wedding. He has been asked to officiate.
Yeah.
You're a parson now, huh?
Well, it's the email says Reverend.
You'll never
Reverend-
hear me call you most reverend.
Rev?
Reverend
How about
Rodney.
Rev? How about Rev Ranj? What do you think of that?
Reverend Wise Ass.
Reverend Ross says, yeah. I'm buying that T-shirt.
Yeah,
I'm buying that T-shirt. Yeah.
I'll get that for you.
Yeah.
You've been. Do you pay attention to baseball postseason?
Yes,
Once they're-
yes. It's fun. And one of the neat things about, I am not a fan of the schedule, but we do see all the teams. And watching these games and knowing those teams better than what I would have not seeing them, you appreciate them. And I watch Kansas City and the Yankees, and they're like at opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to payroll. And I thought Kansas City was more fundamentally sound than the Yankees were, because the Yankees had two guys in their order in Soto and Judge. And if you can get around them, and I felt like if you want to beat the Yankees, make sure the 8th and 9th place hitters don't get on base. Because when you have to come around the order and deal with Soto and Judge with runners on base, now all of a sudden there's a big inning. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. And knowing guys on all those teams, you root for them. Ironically, a lot of them were former Cardinals.
Yeah. We mentioned Weaver closed it out.
But it's been fun. And I think the best of 5 series is more fun than the best of 7 series.
Really?
It's a little more unpredictable.
Yeah, it is. And the urgency you manage differently, you play differently, you use your bullpen differently. And bullpens, if you don't have a bullpen, you have no chance. And I think we're seeing how the game is shifted from having that ace starter to making sure you have about 6 or 7 good arms in your bullpen who can throw every day.
With the teams that are still in it, that's the only series that's been decided so far. With the teams that are still in it, what do you think the Cardinals can learn from them, if anything?
Developing your own players. If you look around, and Cleveland is a great example. Cleveland and Detroit are classic examples. Detroit, before the playoffs started, had one guy who'd been in postseason, and that was Matt Vierling, young man from St. Louis. Cleveland didn't have many guys that were in postseason. Many of them were homegrown or acquired in another organization in a trade of some sort. You can have a $200 million payroll, and that's great. And, maybe you get to the playoffs, maybe you get to a World Series. But the urgency of winning now, you have to be, patient and develop players. Because going out and trying to sign a free agent pitcher or a free agent is so astronomical as far as price is concerned that it takes away from other areas that you can be better at. So I think I've learned that you have to be patient and develop your own players, which means you have to have good scouts, not watching video. You need to have a scout watching a player, because we can all see how good he is, but I want to see what he looks like when he goes 0 for 4 or he strikes out 4 times. I want to see the body language. I want to see his compassion on being better at the next at bat, or the next ground ball is hit to him, or the next pitch he throws. And you can only do that by having people there watching, because there's no measurement on heart. They have measurements on how fast you can run, how hard you can throw, the whole night, but they don't have a measurable on your heart and how much desire you have. And that's something that we've gotten away from in the game, and hopefully we'll get it back.
It is interesting that you bring that up. There is a runner, I think she's retired now, but she was, scouted out of college along with 8 other runners who were signed with Nike. And on all of the tangible measurements, she was last. Because she just didn't have, you don't have what it takes. You don't have the speed, you don't have the turnover. She was the only one who went to the Olympics. And she's like, you can't measure heart. And, she wrote about this because she said she really took it personally when Nike's like, we're least excited about you. And she had a chip on her shoulder. She wanted to prove them wrong. So with the young guys in Detroit, are people looking at Detroit now saying, wow, their development program is that superior to everyone else, or did they kind of luck out?
I think it's a little bit of both. They probably blossomed maybe a year before anybody thought they were going to be contenders. And their division is one where you look at them, you look at Kansas City, you look at Cleveland, and then you have other teams that are all kind of growing at the same time. And people think, well, that's a weak division. No, they're just young and they're developing, because once they all start to beat each other up, everybody's going to say, man, this is a really good division with low payrolls, which is going to be fun, because all those guys are going to come up as free agents at the same time in a lot of cases. So teams are going to have to make decisions. Do we continue, or do we have somebody in the back room who's ready to replace that person? So I think baseball right now is at a really interesting crossroads with regard to development and how do we sell our game? And because right now, when you look around, you look at the NBA and the NFL with these mega TV deals, college football, mega TV deals, and there's baseball, who we've all loved for so many years. It's like trying to figure out, okay, how can we be part of that party? How do we get young people engaged? And that's the challenge. And watching these young teams now, I think, is a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, and I do want to be fair to Kansas City and Detroit. They did get to play the White Sox a bunch of times, and they went 22-4 against them. So they may not be in the postseason if it weren't for the crappy Sox. Blues so far this season, they've had a couple of games. They've won them both. They've come back.
I was trying to find out when the playoff tickets go on sale.
I know.
Dude, let's go.
I know. I was like kind of poo-pooing the team going into the season.
Because we really didn't know a lot about them, and we still don't.
Right.
But, opening up on the road out on the West Coast, and that used to be a bonding time for teams. We all get together. I remember back in the day when the Blues would go to Squaw Valley, excuse me, and just hang out when they would be on the West Coast swing. And bonding is important in hockey because you're playing for each other. Have you seen the program? I think it's on Netflix, called Face Off. or Amazon.
No, I don't think so.
You got to check it. I
Yeah.
started watching it. It's like going back to last year, and they follow different players. And
Is it kind of like quarterback?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Okay.
very interesting.
Yeah.
And a lot of things you already know, but it's an interesting program to watch if you're a hockey fan.
Yeah. No, for sure. I said, I told Ranj, I go, hockey Amy is back. Because I'm a note taking
It's good to have you back, Amy.
Let's bleep and go.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
No, I have my notebook. I have a notebook, and Ron's like, you do not have a notebook. I was writing down lines and power play units. It just, I process
I'm not
it
ready
better.
for that yet.
I process it better when I'm writing it down. Hockey Amy's back because I miss it.
I love the game, but I don't take. It's like Flag Day. You know, Flag Day in hockey is Martin Luther King birthday, middle of January. That's when you really know you have a
I
hockey.
was like, wait, it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah. No, that's my hockey version of Flag Day.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so I will let guys go up and down. We'll have an injury or two. And you ask me on January 15th about the St. Louis Blues, I'll have
Yeah.
a better opinion.
I'm gonna put
But
it
I
in my
like
calendar.
the direction right now.
I do too. I'm just gonna shift back to baseball quickly.
See, I thought we were talking texting today.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Oh.
okay. Well, okay, let's shift it. Okay.
No,
here's my
I'm
quick
here.
baseball.
I'm here to serve.
I want to talk about texting, but here's my
By the
quick
way, you know they have the best
baseball.
crushed ice in St. Louis in this radio station.
We do.
Here.
We do.
That's one of the reasons why
I'll
I
tell you
came.
what.
It's the
we
only
do a
thing
couple of things really well, and that crushed ice is one of them.
Oh my goodness,
It's killer. I bring my iced coffee without ice and then fill it with the crushed ice
I'm
here.
gonna get one of those for my house.
All right, last sports question for
All
me.
right.
How electric is Dodger Stadium going to be tonight?
Oh my goodness. So if you've never been to Dodger Stadium,
Yeah.
It's loud.
their PA system
It's the loudest
can be
thing I've
heard
ever
all
heard.
the way
It's-
to Tijuana. I'm
It
serious.
is so loud.
It is the loudest thing where when you look in the crowd, you can see people's blood's coming out of their ears.
Yeah.
I mean, it is going to be electric tonight.
Nice.
And may the best team win. I have friends on both of those teams. I love their two managers are two of my favorite people, and Dave Roberts and Mike Schilt. And then you have guys that played for the Cardinals. You think about Jack Flaherty and people of that nature. This is going to be fun tonight. This will be electric for a lot of reasons. Plus, they don't like each other.
Yeah.
Which is even more fun. So I'm anxious to see how things turn out.
I'm
And
excited.
Whoever wins, kudos to them. They deserve it.
Yeah.
It will be loud.
I'm serious.
Oh my God! It's that
I can hear the organist now.
Dude, that PA is
The
unbelievable.
first time I went there,
Oh my God!
and I remember Mike Shannon said, this is the same sound system they had when the Beatles were here. Like, huh? I mean, it is. People don't know how loud. I would tell you the other place indoors, where the Sharks play,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like a flat roof,
Yeah.
and the sound has nowhere to go but down. That's a loud place, but Dodger Stadium by far is the loudest place I've ever been.
I played hockey with the girl that runs the Jumbotron, or did run the Jumbotron where the Sharks play. It was
Oh.
kind of fun. Yeah, it was loud.
You got a texting problem?
You know what? Does he
What's
have a
going
few
on?
minutes? What if can you hang out for a
Oh
few
yeah,
minutes?
I'm
Why
here.
don't we take a break? Come
Yeah.
back. We'll
Yeah.
hang out a little bit longer.
Mr. Filler today with Reverend
Hey, Reverend Ron.
Wise. Yeah.
That's right. Back in a moment with Mike Claiborne.
I'm John Morgan. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately, 24/7. Our investigators, legal staff, and over 900 lawyers work together to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. Insurance companies know who we are, and now you know it too. This firm was built for greatness. This firm was built for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
We can get more sleep, we can get more sun, and we can get more exercise. But the one thing that we can't get more of is time. It's time to eliminate the one phrase that could be holding you back from reaching your retirement goals. I'll take care of it tomorrow. It's time to pick up the phone and make the call to Gary Goldberg and the team at Financial and Tax Strategies. 618-361-4232 or online at checkwithgary.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., an SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Gary Goldberg, NPN number 918615.
Saturdays are made for soccer and City SC on Y98. Whether you're running around town watching your kids from the sidelines or You're making the time to give blood and save lives by making your appointment at Impact Life, your community blood center. Make your appointment today at bloodcenter.org/soccer. And remember, you can always catch the City SC game anywhere on the Odyssey app and on Y98, your home for St. Louis City Soccer.
Medicare open enrollment starts October 15th and ends December 7th. Missouri SHIP, the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, is your trusted Medicare resource in Missouri. They're not an insurance company and don't sell anything. Counselors help you compare and enroll in plans, check if you qualify to lower your Medicare costs, and more. Call 1-800-390-3330. Missouri SHIP, assisting Missourians with Medicare since 1993. Funding provided by Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance through ACL.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Supporting your nutrition should be easy. That's why we created the Neovitin Women's Multivitamin monthly subscription. Get your daily Neovitin Women's Multivitamin delivered directly to your door every month. You can pause or cancel your subscription at any time with no long-term obligations. With B vitamins to support energy, vitamin D for bone support, and our physician-formulated proprietary blend, Neovitin Women's Multivitamin is here to support your nutrition every day. Start supporting your nutrition and sign up for a monthly Neovitin Women's Multivitamin subscription today at neovitin.com.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of our Missouri or Illinois attorneys. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town and Country, Missouri, 63017. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold Toyota and Newbold BMW. I am so confident that my team will take care of every one of your service and sales needs. I'll give you my cell phone. 618-791-5470. Newbold Toyota or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
I'm Brad Young. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, and Mike Claiborne hanging out in Studio B. And Claibs, we when you first walked in, we started talking about texting significant others, and what? Oh, go ahead.
And living in Switzerland.
That's right.
Yeah.
And living in Switzerland, moving.
But
to
you got to have a
Switzerland.
significant if you're going to go that far, right?
I mean, I'm cool living in Switzerland by myself, but I've always. I mean, I have a significant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say he's breaking news here.
No. I have a significant, but I mean, you don't have to have someone to move to Switzerland.
No, you don't. I guess not.
At any rate, texting. You said texting is the worst thing to happen to relationships.
It is. And while you can always send a smiley face and I love you and this and that, you get into a spirited debate with somebody and they all of a sudden it gets
debate.
Yeah. And all of a sudden it gets off the track. Yeah. And then you say to yourself, this deserves either a phone call or a face-to-face.
Yeah.
And I was involved with that with my on and off significant today. And it got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm going to stop texting here because, one of us is about to cross the line.
Yeah.
So we need a face-to-face or a phone conversation.
Yeah.
And I think relationships, as good as texting can be to reaffirm how much you care about someone, man, you get on the wrong side of the tracks on one of those conversations and then all hell breaks loose.
And also sometimes you got the text like the 3 or 4 different texts in a row, and they're addressing different things.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, I'm wait.
Yeah,
Okay, now
can we get
I'm
back to
responding-
first base here?
I'm
Yeah.
responding back to the no. That text is in response to the first one, not this one. It's too much.
And
It's-
don't you
it's too much.
read the voice or the attitude that you're
Yeah.
anticipating. So
Yeah.
if you're mad or defensive, you're reading that text.
And you're doing one of these. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll show you, and then all of a sudden, then you fire off a text,
Yeah.
and then once you push send, you're done.
That's
Can't bring
right.
it back.
You cannot take it back.
Can't bring it back.
Well,
So anyway,
are you gonna have the face to face?
well, it depends on her
Oh.
because our last conversation, I'm in a meeting right now. Oh, okay, fine.
Oh, in a meeting? At least she didn't one word you. That is I'll tell you what, that's a thing that gets under my skin. When there's a one word response
To a very long text.
or to a normal text and you one word me or I get a K, I will throw your phone in the lake.
Or in the toilet.
Oh, in a toilet.
Whichever is close.
That did happen to me too.
You really had somebody drop a
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Really?
So turns out she was a little unstable.
Yeah.
And
It's crazy how every single relationship
that's not true.
She's
That is not
unstable.
true.
Yeah, she's one off the tracks.
There've only been a couple of those. This was the first. This was the orig. She
The
was
OG
the original.
unstable?
Oh, dude. She had gone. She was going through my phone.
Oh,
and
that's a no right off the bat.
Which is I think
no,
it was,
no.
Was I out of the? I don't know if I was out of the room and I
Because
came
she
back
thought
and she was
you
looking
had
for-
a side piece.
Yes, which I did not.
We could vouch for that.
So she took. I'm a good boy. She took.
Oh, really? Is that why you're always
I
in
am.
Chicago?
Yes. What?
What's going on in Chicago on these
Nothing. I have
weekends?
friends that I love.
He's always there.
I have friends that I love to visit.
I think
And
he
they
has a
don't come
wife
visit
and
you?
kids. Yeah.
Nobody wants to come to St. Louis.
Why not? We have so much to offer.
I don't. I'm just telling you what they say to me.
Okay.
So
Chicago is a fun city, though.
yeah, there's just here's what happens every time. Hey, why don't you guys come down here? They say, why don't you come up here?
Yeah.
And you say, okay.
Yeah, and so I do. So she took the phone into the bathroom. She locked the door while she was in there. She was in there for a good 10 minutes. And I'm like, what are we doing? And then she finally opened the door and looked at me right in the eye. Looked at me. Held my phone up to show it to me and then plop right in the toilet. Right in the toilet. Yeah, I know what your next question is. Your next question is, so you broke up with her, right? I did not. That did not happen for a while.
You
after
asked her
that.
to marry you.
No, I did not ask her to marry me. But she, it took some months. It's like the Seinfeld thing when he's talking about ending a relationship. That it's hard to do it all at once. It's like knocking over a soda machine. You have to tip it back and forth a few times before it finally goes over. That's I think that's a great analogy. You can't just push a soda machine over. You have to rock it back and forth, and then eventually.
Here's what we need to do. We need to get Michael Kelly in here. Then we could have the
king of
four single men, 4 unmarried men. Fair?
Yeah.
Fair.
Last I don't have a ring. Yeah,
And we
I'm
can
married,
do
yeah.
we can do a show like The Bachelor. The
I'm in on that.
Bachelors.
Yeah, let's
in
do.
on that.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
What do you think Pajewski has to offer?
Youth.
Youth?
How the kids?
No, I mean,
how
like,
the
what-
kids think today?
Yeah, how do kids
Yeah.
think today, Matt?
I don't know. I think like an old man.
It really does. Matt has some very old sensibilities.
He loves Michael Bolton and Gunsmoke.
He really does.
Not at the same time though. Separate.
Matt Dillon and wow,
I love this guy.
Gunsmoke, huh?
This guy's
Yeah,
adorable.
you know who originally turned that job down
Who?
was John Wayne,
Really?
and he said, "I got a guy that you ought to think about," and it was James Arness because they had done a movie together, Big Jim McClain. He and James Arness did a movie together. They became very good friends. They offered the job to John Wayne. He turned it down and recommended James Arness, whose brother, by the way, is Peter Graves, who from Mission Impossible.
Oh my gosh.
Did you know that,
That's
Matt?
awesome.
I did not know that.
That's very cool because see, I was not a Gunsmoke girl. I was Bonanza. I loved Bonanza.
we don't have enough time to tell you Bonanza trivia as well.
I know. I think Little Joe got shot like 130 times or
Michael
something.
Landon.
Yep.
Your Little Joe.
Yeah.
Parnell Roberts.
Yep.
Oh gosh. Ben
Oh,
Cartwright.
Adam.
Adam.
Yep.
Or no, Ben
Well,
Cartwright.
Adam the son.
Yeah, Adam, who had some very good career. They all had good careers after Bonanza. But who's Lauren Green?
Lauren Green.
He's a Canadian.
Really?
He was a singer.
Did you know Bonanza, the map? It's the Ponderosa is
Ponderosa's in-
Lake Tahoe.
Exactly.
That's why they were so rich. They owned Lake Tahoe.
Here's what I know about those two things. Ponderosa and Bonanza, the exact same restaurant.
They are.
Well, you spent a lot of time at apparently.
Mike Claiborne,
great to see
You're
you
the
all.
best.
good to see
Have
you
a
too.
great weekend.
Have a good weekend yourself, and
I don't know what the weekend
enjoy
looks like.
Enjoy the rest of your argument.
Yeah, I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jules on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jules on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jules on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. Jules on Hampton.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
She learned the value of hard work and responsibility at her family's small business at an early age. Ann Wagner took those same hard-working Missouri values to Washington. She's made it her job to keep the radical left from harming your job. Today, in the midst of Joe Biden's out-of-control inflation, Ann Wagner protects us by working to lower costs for families. As a mother of 3, she understands the work and has done it to keep your home and community safe. That's why Ann Wagner fought to secure our border and stop traffickers from smuggling fentanyl and illegal immigrants into our communities, and why she gave law enforcement the tools they need to defend us. And Ann Wagner took a stand against the defund the police radicals who will leave us in harm's way. She'll always back our brave law enforcement officers, putting conservative values to work for us. Ann Wagner for Congress. Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
It is 12 noon in Mid-America. The newscast is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Sunny sky, 76 degrees downtown at the Arch. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says storm recovery is in full swing following Hurricane Milton.
The governor says power is coming back.
1.6 million accounts have been restored in the state of Florida. 2.4 million as of 9 a.m. are outstanding.
Rescue operations are ongoing.
Over 1,600 individuals have been rescued, over 140 animals from floodwaters, rubble, or other hazards.
And DeSantis says debris removal by the truckload continues as Florida makes its way back from Hurricane Milton. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Senator Josh Hawley, running for re-election, is changing his tune on tax cuts. In 2017, he called Donald Trump's tax plan the right way forward. Now he says corporations should not pay less in taxes than individuals. KMOX's Sean Malone questioned him on the change in his position.
If a corporate tax cut is in Trump's tax plan and it hits the Senate floor, are you voting for it?
Well, it needs to meet the criteria I just laid out. I mean, it needs to be something that is actually going to create jobs, raise wages for workers, and actually benefit the country. If it's just a giveaway to corporations, then no. I'm not going to vote to just give away more money to corporations.
So if the math works out, you'd vote for corporate tax cuts if the math worked out?
Well, let's see what's in the bill.
Hawley faces Democrat Lucas Kunce on Tuesday, November 5th. There's a new poll on what Hispanic voters think about the Democratic and Republican presidential nominees.
About 60% of female Hispanic voters who responded to the survey by the Associated Press and the Nork Center for Public Affairs Research have a somewhat favorable or very favorable view of Vice President Kamala Harris, but only 45% of male Hispanic voters do. And about half of Hispanic women voters think Harris would make a good president, whereas about 1/3 of Hispanic men do. Hispanic men are more likely than Hispanic women to think that Trump has the toughness the presidency requires. And about 60% of Hispanic women voters say Trump would not make a good president, compared to about half of Hispanic male voters. Donna Warder, Washington.
The KMOX Business Desk, which companies are doing well.
The new earnings season kicking off this morning with better than forecast results from two of the nation's biggest banks, Wells Fargo and JP Morgan Chase. Chase posting a surprise gain in net interest income despite the Fed lowering interest rates. Now, shares of both those banking giants are higher. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's higher by 299 points to 42,753. We've got some road work on Lindbergh going north at McDonald Boulevard. It's got the right lane closed. A disabled vehicle, 6440, going east at Winghaven. That's on the right shoulder.
All about sunshine again going through our Friday afternoon. And once again, we're a little bit warmer than yesterday. 84 for the high. That's a good 10 degrees above average. Tonight, clear skies out of the 80s into the 70s for evening plans. So a little bit warm for the Friday night football game. 61 for the low. The weekend, Saturday, sunny. Still on tap for Saturday to be the warmest of this stretch. 87 for the high. 89 is the record from 1890. Saturday night, clear skies, 60. Sunday, sunny skies, northwest wind takes over, 75. But we're going to see a high on Monday of 62. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
We've got sunshine now across the region, 76 in Florissant and St. Peter's, and 76 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
No fights, just insights. Talking politics with respect for all. KMOX, your connection to St. Louis and the region.
Got Blues tickets to give away, which we will do before the end of the show. Promised you. Speaking of Blues, Amy, you're not going to believe who is part of our No Prize Pick'em Challenge today at 12:30.
Does it rhyme with Gurney Baderko?
Yeah, it does. Bernie Federko will be participating in our No Prize Pick'em Challenge today, and he will try to defeat you and me and Big Blonde Dan, who participated last week as our guest listener participant, and he won. So he gets to come back this week. So it's going to be Dan, the two of us, and Bernie Federko will join us after 12:30.
Very exciting.
Then
That's
the Blues
awesome.
tickets, and then was there something else?
Do we want to do our Twitter results?
Oh,
We
yes.
asked the question,
We did.
who is more famous?
And this is only because you were incredulous that you didn't know who Chipper Jones was, and you thought
I knew who Chipper Jones, because I accidentally called him Skipper Jones.
right.
And I said Chipper Jones, and somehow we got into an argument who was more. No, let me take that back. It was not an argument.
It was
you
because
made it an argument.
Because I mispronounced Jim Cantori, the Weather Channel
Yes.
meteorologist. I
You
called
did.
him Santori,
Scantori.
whatever. And you said, I don't know Chipper Jones, but you can call him Santori. And I'm like, I bet everybody knows who Chipper Jones is.
And I said, you're right. I said, yes, Chipper Jones is way more famous than Jim Cantori.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, and so we did a poll.
We did a poll anyway on
Yeah.
our Twitter account at Chris Amy KMOX, which, by the way, is where you can go to watch us. You can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on YouTube as well. And so the question was this simple: who was more famous, Chipper Jones or Jim Cantori? And Chipper won with almost 59% of the vote.
baby!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Jim Cantori.
I can't believe 40% of the people thought Jim Cantori was more famous than Chipper Jones.
Listen to that!
It's also the most random poll ever.
It's well,
like, who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
That's what our polls look like, though, sometimes. Who cares? But they're fun, and you should follow us at Chris Amy KMOX on Twitter, and then you can vote in our polls.
So we were talking about TikTok the other day, and really we've been talking about social media and how toxic, dangerous, and harmful it is. I do think kids that are kids now, this generation, so really Gen Z going into Gen Alpha, I think they have it the worst because right now they have the most access to the most powerful social media algorithms with the least amount of limitations and restrictions. And also, it is very acceptable and almost expected that all young people have smartphones. And I think because of that, we as a society, our legislation, we are lagging behind the harms that social media is doing to young people. We know it. It's been proven. It's scientifically proven. The data is there across all socioeconomic levels. Every country, every modernized country, that has smartphones in the hands of most young people, incredibly harmful, from depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation, eating disorders, you name it. And so I do hope that generations to come, it will be actually almost stigmatized to give young people social media and smartphones, right? Where as a society, we realize, oh, that's bad for them. Because right now, if a parent decides to take a smartphone from a kid or to severely limit their access, you are effectively socially isolating the kid from their friends because a lot of kids don't even have phone numbers. They just reach out on Snapchat, and that's how you know about things that are going on and you talk to your friends. So we as a society, we have to come together to make it less acceptable for kids to have smartphones. But
and so, well, to add to this,
yeah,
this is pretty much, I would say, evidence of that in these lawsuits, or the one lawsuit that was filed that we learned about yesterday. 14 attorneys general from around the country had filed this lawsuit, Illinois being one of the states that are on board with it, and another one being Kentucky. And Kentucky, in the suit, they talk about, and this was part of so this is newer reporting. NPR had gotten a hold of the transcript of the filing. And a lot of it, what we saw, you could go back and look at the filing previously, a lot of it was redacted. This is what they found in the redacted parts. Once it was unredacted, that TikTok had done their own internal studies. And they had found, among other things, that the precise amount of viewing it takes for someone to form a habit where they need TikTok is 260 videos. So what that means is in under 35 minutes, and this is, again, according to TikTok's own studying of the platform, in under 35 minutes, an average user is likely to become addicted to the platform, that's really not very much.
No.
They also found, and this was another internal document from TikTok themselves. It says, quote, compulsive usage correlates with a slew of negative mental health effects like loss of analytical skills, memory formation, contextual thinking, conversational depth, empathy, and increased anxiety. This is all part of the lawsuit. And again, a lot of this stuff was redacted and you couldn't see it. So that is not insignificant, that the company itself recognizes all of these dangers, and still they have these they're supposed to be like time limiting safeguards which they also acknowledge don't really work all that well.
Yeah, or like age limit safeguards. Well, what kid's going to be honest and say, yes, I'm over 12? You just click no, or you click that you're older, right? And you can get on these apps. The safeguards are very weak. And I do think it is important to note, let's not forget that TikTok is owned by a Chinese company. And if you're owned by a Chinese company, you're owned by the Chinese government. The CCP is running TikTok. There's a reason why all of those videos that our kids are watching on TikTok, all the stupid challenges and this stupid so-called humor, all the stuff that's making our kids so dumb and so addicted, they don't even allow those videos in China.
Well,
they have a different version of TikTok.
This really does put onus, at least for now, on parents to be vigilant when it comes to what their kids are using, especially the younger kids. And we were just a moment ago talking about the time limiters on the app, that parents can set the usage between 40 minutes and 2 hours a day to be there. TikTok's created a default 60 minutes of usage safeguard. The internal documents from the company themselves says that the success of that tool was more about, quote, improving public trust in the TikTok platform via media coverage rather than how it actually reduced time teens spent on the app. So they have these in place, but it's eyewash.
Yeah.
It's window dressing. It's not really doing anything. So it is now, at the moment, on parents to be vigilant, even hyper vigilant. And yesterday, when we were talking about this, we had a texter who said, that's easy for you to say. And my response to that is, who's paying for the phone?
Yeah.
Is it you? Are you paying for the phone? If you're paying for the phone, you can set whatever limits you want on that phone.
Here's how I would encourage parents to look at it. Not like a tool, not like, well, I'm taking a phone away, I'm taking a video game away. You need to look at it like a drug. Would you continue to pay for your kids' drug use, knowing that they're addicted, knowing that it's harming their mental health, harming their physical health, impairing their cognitive abilities, impairing their brain development, and impairing their social skills and development? So I read just a horrific story, which I think is very, very common. Think of all of the acting out behaviors we see among kids. So a woman, a couple actually, a mom and a dad, they said their son, he was on his phone a lot on social media apps and games, right? And he was younger, so it wasn't always just TikTok. It was, other video games, just on his smartphone, constantly connected. And he had behavioral issues. He'd get very angry. Like sometimes he would just yell or he'd punch the wall. He just had no tolerance for not getting what he wanted when he wanted it. And other times he would just become overly emotional whenever he had some kind of inconvenience or hardship. And they said, we think he's addicted to his phone. His phone is making him worse. So they took his phone away. They said for about 2 months, 6 weeks to 8 weeks, his behavioral outlashes, they got worse. They said it was like taking a drug away from a drug addict. So he screamed a lot. He yelled. He was violent. And after 6 to 8 weeks, it finally broke. And the mom said her quote was, "We got our son back." Because it was like taking a drug away from a drug addict because he was so addicted to his phone. And then he had the withdrawal symptoms. And then they got his son back. They said he plays outside more. He has self-control. He has more control over his emotions.
I'm not saying it's easy to do that.
Oh, it sounded awful. She said it was awful.
But is it supposed to be? Does everything have to be easy in order to do it? And if you're a person who says, hey, the world's not fair and the world's difficult and there are challenges, you can't have things handed to you. Well, that goes for parents too.
Remember when
that goes for parents. Like it's you. Sometimes it is difficult to put the foot down, but you kind of have to do it for your kids' sake. Do you not?
When I interviewed the 2 freshmen at Parkway Central and how they were like, we hate the phone, but we kind of have to have it because otherwise we can't interact with our friends. And I said, if you could press a button and make smartphones go away so you only had the flip phone texting, would you do it? They both said yes. A caller said it almost sounded like kids asking for help. So like you said, it's not easy, but I think the adults have to make this decision. It is not the kids' fault that they're addicted to the phones. Adults created phones to be addictive.
Right.
Adults did this. I will say Jonathan Haidt, of the Anxious Generation. He said, here are the 4 new norms we should shoot for in society. And I agree with this. Let's make these 4 things normal. No smartphones before high school. No social media before 16. Phone-free schools. And more independent, free play and responsibility in the real world. I think that sounds awesome.
I think a lot of those things are, you can debate and you can tweak or whatever, but I definitely believe schools should be phone free. There's no reason for it. And I know people say, what if there's an emergency? People for centuries got away with not having phones in schools and emergencies happen. I think we could still do that. In fact, if you have an emergency and have to get a hold of your son or daughter, call the office and say, hey, I have an emergency, go get my kid.
Well, and they said too, like even in the phone-free schools, if you put your phone in a clear lock bag, you'll be able to see like, hey, my mom's called me twice. Or, hey, can I use this phone? So they don't even have to be separated if you don't want to separate.
You can call the office. They'll come down and get you. That's how we used to do it.
I love the phrase, we are overprotecting our kids in the real world and underprotecting them online.
We have tickets to give away to see the Blues and the Jets on October 22nd at Enterprise Center. Who wants to go? Do you want to go? Amy, you want to go? Well, you can't win the tickets, but if you're listening, you can. And this is how you do it. Be caller number 6.
Yeah.
To the contest line.
Say.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. 314-955-1120. 314-955-1120. Good luck.
You know the old saying, if you fail to plan, you might as well plan to fail. And the last thing you want to fail at is something as important as your retirement. Every week, Steve All talks about how to plan for this next phase of your life.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
Tune in to the All Financial Hour every Saturday morning at 10, right here on KMOX.
Genesis of St. Charles is knocking it out of the park. They're #1 in Genesis sales with the biggest inventory around. In fact, selection at Genesis of St. Charles is the best they've ever had. So head to their state-of-the-art facility and see for yourself and take advantage of 0% financing through the end of October. See dealer for details. Stop in today at Genesis of St. Charles, a quarter mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive off 70, or online at genesisofstcharles.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Onder Law, we deliver big judgments for the little guy. Onder Law takes on the biggest industries and holds them accountable. Call today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for: their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast. We always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Hey everyone, Dr. Colleen Bosler of the Audiology Center has a special invitation for everyone listening to this program. Doctor?
The holidays are approaching quickly, and some of you may remember struggling to hear when you were with family and friends last year. We want to make the holidays more enjoyable for you this year by providing you with the gift of hearing. We're hosting our annual Here for the Holidays promotion October 29th and 30th, and we will have lots to offer. Free hearing screenings, free earwax removal, free video otoscopy, and free demonstrations of the latest hearing aid technology. And finally, $700 off a new set of hearing aids.
Thank you, Doctor. That's an incredible offer. Folks, the Hearing for the Holidays promotion, October 29th and 30th at all 3 Audiology Center locations. Reservations are recommended. 636-441-7470, the Audiology Center, STL.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
In the know, on the go. Trust KMOX for local news that impacts St. Louis and the region. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Talking about today is high on our list. The whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands.
So that was former President Donald Trump warning his audience that the whole dang country is going to be like Detroit if Kamala Harris wins the presidency. The problem is when Trump gave that speech, he was in Detroit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was at the Detroit Economic Forum.
So I would imagine, and I don't know for sure, but a town of people, city of people, probably don't like being told by an outsider that their city sucks.
Do you think he forgot where he was? Because if you...
No.
Unless he was like, these
No, I
are
don't think he
people who hate Detroit. I don't know. Like, you know, like, oh, St. Louis is going downhill. And I get it. We've been poo-pooing the city as well. But it is. We need to turn it around. But I don't hate the city. I want the city to succeed. Would this be like him talking to St. Louisans going, the whole country is going to be St. Louis if Kamala Harris wins presidency?
Here's the way I feel about it. It's like your sports teams. You'll crap on your own sports teams. You will crap on your own city.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear some outsider do it. And that's kind of how I feel. Sometimes I will criticize St. Louis for multiple reasons. But when I hear somebody from Chicago, like one of my friends, I'll be like, hey, screw you. You got problems too.
Yeah.
I get very defensive about it.
And
I don't want people from the outside telling me about my city.
And
I don't
also,
want
if someone said, hey, Ranj, St. Louis could be like Detroit tomorrow, wouldn't you take that?
Well,
didn't you say they're doing pretty well?
It's funny that he said that.
Yeah.
Because I spent the first part of the week talking about how I thought Detroit was pretty cool. And it had, look, I didn't go the entire city. I didn't see all of Detroit. I went through a lot of downtown. I spent several hours walking around the downtown area. And I do think their downtown area is a lot better than what we have. There's a lot more life. There are a lot more businesses. There are a lot more people walking around. It is clear they still have challenges. It's clear that they're not there yet, but pretty much everybody, and I know this, I don't think they're lying because I know how we talk about our city. People there generally feel like they are on the upswing. And they've been saying that for a long time. My friend who I married, he and his wife over the weekend, he lived here for a while. And he said, he was like, look, this city is nothing like what it was before I left town to move to St. Louis. And this was about 10 years ago. He said it is so much different now. The drivers that we had, the people I talked to who lived there other than him, they all said the same thing. This city is definitely on the way up. It is not what it was back in 2014. Things are different now. And I feel like, you know, we would be honest with ourselves in St. Louis, I think, if we were to say that it's getting better and we believe it's getting better. I don't think we would tell outsiders something different. I don't think we would lie about it. I don't think. I mean, maybe we would, maybe we try to convince ourselves things are better, but to a man, anybody I talked to from Detroit said the same thing about it. There's a lot more going on than there used to be, and things are getting better there.
Yeah.
So for him to say that, either it's just he's playing to a particular section of people who don't like cities or whatever, and he knows it's going to play well with them, or he really doesn't know the progress Detroit has made in the last several years.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a combination of all of that. I don't know what the makeup of the audience was, but he could be in the same way as if like he went to a suburb area of St. Louis and was like, oh, you think St. Louis is dangerous? All of America will be like St. Louis. Like he could have been implying that, like that if it had whatever component you can imagine, you know what I mean? Like that he was looking down on the city itself.
Well, I bet that there would be people who don't live in St. Louis, but who live adjacent.
Yeah.
That's
what I mean. The suburbs, like west,
they
south,
probably,
whatever.
They might eat it up. They might think, yeah, I hate St. Louis. It sucks.
And that's what that's
So
the
maybe that's who
vibe
he's
I
talking
got.
to.
And I don't know where it was, the Detroit Economic Forum. So I don't know if it was in the suburb of Detroit or not. But yeah, I mean, unless he was talking that way, but like you said, it's not correct. Detroit's had a renaissance.
Still seems dumb on his part because still talking about 700,000 people who get to vote.
I would take it
I don't know.
personally. Yeah.
That's Amy Marks Coors. I'm Chris Ranji. The No Prize Pick'em Challenge is back this week. Bernie Federko is with us. That's next on KMOX.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you're thinking about selling your home, I'm sure there are 2 things that you want: certainty and the most money, right? This is Debbie Monterey, and if you've been listening to me for some time, you know that the agent I trust is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis's real estate expert. Here's why she should be your first call when looking for an agent. Gloria does not make empty promises. She provides written guarantees. What does that mean for you? Certainty. Certainty isn't the only thing you want. You also want the most money. Gloria is able to get her home sellers more money than the average agent because she already has the buyers. This is why Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she will buy it. To get your guaranteed price, call St. Louis's real estate expert, Gloria Liu, at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
At 12:30, we've got sunshine and 78 downtown at the Arch. At least 16 people were killed as a result of Hurricane Milton. Residents and business owners in some of the impacted areas have been able to survey the damage left by the storm.
Well, I'm from Treasure Island and live in a condo. We were without power after Helene for about a week, but got restored. The bottom floor was flooded, but Treasure Island, the beaches, all the way from the barrier islands.
Road work on 44 going east at 270. That's got the right shoulder closed. This afternoon, sunshine, high 88. Low tonight, 63. At the moment, 78 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
It's a night to be entertained and inspired. The Musial Awards return to Stiefel Theater Saturday, November 23rd. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event hosted right here in St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the show celebrates the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those who embody class and character. Experience the extraordinary moments and people that make the Musial Awards an event like no other. The Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University. Saturday, November 23rd. Tickets at MusialAwards.com.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team live in St. Louis. 2 days only at the Hilton Frontenac, Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and 10th. Register now at DelHelpMeNow.com. That's DelHelpMeNow.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. DelHelpMeNow.com. Code 2024.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, and now is the time to do something about it. With Neoviten Women's Multivitamin, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Created by a St. Louis physician, Neoviten Women's Multivitamin is formulated with our proprietary blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Best of all, you can get Neoviten Women's Multivitamin delivered right to your door with our convenient monthly subscription. Go to neoviten.com and sign up for a subscription today.
Did you know that now is the best time to top dress your lawn? St. Louis Composting has compost specifically created for top dressing. To learn more, visit stlcompost.com. That's stlcompost.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
This is America's sports voice, KMOX.
Okay, boys, here we go. Hey, from the jump now, let's go. Who's ready for some football? Football!
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
I'm so glad football season's back.
The Rocky Tiger. Ryan Sutter to Federico, right in. Does he score? He scores! Federico! Side of the net to Federico to Hull. Scores! We are honoring number 24 of the Blues, Bernie Federico.
Well, what a treat this is. What a treat this is. And not it's because it's Big Blonde Dan coming back again. Loyal listener
Although we
Dan.
love Big Blonde Dan.
We totally love Big Blonde Dan. But because this week we are joined by Bernie Federico on the No Prize Football Pick'em on the Chris and Amy Show. First, however, let's say hello to Dan. Welcome back.
Oh, well, Christopher. Nice of you to join us.
Well, sorry.
And if I may, Reverend to Reverend, my best to the happy couple. I hope it went off without a hitch.
It was fine.
Or with a hitch.
Everything was fine. Turns out I'm finding out today I may have forgotten to fill something out, but whatever. I'm sure it's
still
fine.
legal.
Yeah, it's still legal, I think. So, Dan, congratulations on your win last week. How do you feel about going up against Bernie Federico today?
You know, Michael Scott, who said, quoting Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I'm just going to take a shot.
All right. Sounds great. Bernie Federko, we are so glad to have you today. Thank you for participating in our stupid little game.
Well, I'm not sure what I'm getting into, but I know that you have to go back way into the archives to find those Dan Kelly statements that you just had on that clip.
Oh,
How
no,
awesome
no,
were
not for
those?
us. We
Not for us.
have
We
no.
keep them front and center.
Yeah,
Bernie.
they're ready to go.
We keep them on a hotkey, ready to go at any time. We got to fire up those bad boys.
So here's how it works for anybody who doesn't know. First things first, you get nothing if you win. That's it.
That's it.
We don't have any prize to give out. It's all pride. The
Well,
second,
I'm expecting Dan to win, so you don't have to worry about that. That's all I'm saying.
hey, you never know, Bernie. You never know. So all we ask you to do, we'll run through a handful of the games on Sunday. We'll give you the
Okay.
matchup. You just tell us who you think is going to win that game. That's it. Until we get to the
Okay.
Sunday night game. And then the Sunday night game, you'll pick the winner and then give us the total amount of points in the game that will be scored or you think will be scored. That's it.
Okay. Wow.
So
all right, I'll do my best.
Here
Very
we go.
straightforward.
Here we go. We're going
All
to
right.
get started in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's an early game. They're going to get started at 8:30 our time on Sunday. The Bears and the Jaguars. Big Blonde Dan, who's going to win?
Okay, so this was a tough one because historically, although strictly limited to this competition, the Bears have treated me well. But Amy taught us last week that you can't pick against Trevor Lawrence and that hair. So it's going to be the Jaguares for me.
Well, whatever. Jaguars. Okay, fine. So Dan has picked the Jaguars. Bernie?
Now I get my choice. I don't have to go against him, though. I can go with him.
You
if
can
I want,
pick
right?
whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with the Jaguars too
Wow.
because they, you know what? They're a better team than their record shows. I think so. I'm not a Bear fan. I'm not a Chicago fan of anything. So I can't pick the Chicago. So I'm going with the Jaguars.
All right.
This guy, he's a
Fine.
pro, a Hall of Famer and a pro.
Fine.
I am not a pro, nor am I a Hall of Famer, so I'm going with the Bears.
Atta girl?
Yep, yeah, I'm going with the Bears. Not sure why. I don't know if it's karma. I was just horrible last week. I came in way last, and I feel like the Bears might be able to pull it together.
Well, not only are they going to pull it together, they're going to win by a lot. Let's go. I'm picking the Bears. Bears are winning that game. I don't think there's any chance the Jaguars win.
Not even with Trevor Lawrence's
Oh,
beautiful golden
no.
locks.
Trevor Lawrence, get serious. Although he's doing okay. He's doing okay. All right, our next one. How about those silly Packers? They host the former St. Louis Football Cardinals, now the Arizona Cardinals. Dan?
So, sticking with the strategy that may or may not have worked for me last week, and given the rarity of their existence, we all know one must pick a non-animal mascot team when you have the chance. So, I'm going with the Packers.
Wow. Okay. The Green Bay Packers is Dan's pick. How about you, Bernie Federko?
Well, the Packers are playing at home, and I can't go against the Packers playing at home. So I'm going to take the Packers as well.
Look at this so far. Bernie and Dan are on the same page.
I like it. Simpatico.
The Pack Attack is back, Jack. So,
Oh, dude.
yes, I am going with Green Bay at Lambeau.
Although it disgusts me, I am trying to win.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick the Packers because I think they are going to beat the Cardinals at home. I hate to say it.
I'm sorry.
It's really difficult for me.
I got to bring out my cheese head.
You don't have to do anything. All right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road in New Orleans. That's the team the Chiefs just beat last week. So it's the Saints in Louisiana against the Buccaneers. Dan?
The easy one for me this week. I'll go with the Bucks.
You're going with Tampa Bay. Okay. Wow. All right, Bernie, what do you think?
No, I'm going Saints.
You're
Saints
going
at
New
home.
Orleans.
Yeah, I go New Orleans because I think that I like the way they play. I watched a couple of the games that they were playing, They didn't win them, but I like the way they play. So I'm going Saints.
They are scoring a lot of points, that's for sure. Amy?
I am going for the Buccaneers. I think Tampa Bay, I think they're going to be emotional. I think they're like, we got to do this for the town, for the city. I do think that plays a little bit of part in the intangible aspect of the game. So I'm going with Tampa Bay.
I am going to go ahead and pick the Saints at home. Again, scoring a ton of points this year. I think that will continue against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How about this one? I think this is a really intriguing matchup. You've got the young quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who's been playing really well for the Washington Commanders. They'll be on the road, however, to face Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. What do you think, Dan?
So this was a theme last year I picked based on my fantasy football team. I do have Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens are just, I can't pick against the Ravens. So I'm going to deviate from the John Hancock trend that I was using with non-animal mascots, and I've got to pick the Birds.
You're picking the Birds.
Going with the Ravens.
Bernie, what do you think? Do you like Birds or do you like Commanders?
I don't know. I've never been in command, so I'm not sure.
Oh, that's not true.
I've
seen you play.
You know what, though? I'm going to go with the Commanders, though. You know what? This is the big test for them. I don't know if they can do it in Baltimore, but you know what? I'm going to go with the Commanders.
All right. That'll be interesting. Amy?
I am right there alongside Bernie Federko. I'm going Commanders.
Well, and guys, I have got to side with Big Blonde Dan on this. You've got, two-time MVP at home. They've got a good run game this year, the Baltimore Ravens. I know that Jaden Daniels, as I mentioned, is off to a hot start, but I am picking Lamar Jackson and Baltimore this weekend. All right. How about the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Raiders? This game happening in Las Vegas. Dan?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'll just go quickly and take Steelers. I don't feel particularly confident about it, but there you go.
Okay.
Put it in stone.
But do you agree, Bernie, or you like somebody else?
No, I'm going to go Raiders. I think that the Steelers are going to be still, from the loss they had the other night, I think they're going to still be behind the eight ball. I don't think they can recover.
Okay.
I'm going Raiders.
Okay, you're going Raiders on this one.
Wow, I'm really I'm questioning my pick now because I had Pittsburgh. I'm going with Pittsburgh, but I'm not confident at all. I don't even know why I've picked them.
You know what? I'm going to go with you as well. I'm sticking with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It looks like Justin Fields is probably going to start. I don't know if it's been officially decided, but Russell Wilson is getting closer to health. But I think Fields is going to be the guy. I'm picking Pittsburgh. All right. We have the Dallas Cowboys, America's team to some people, hosting the Detroit Lions, who are off to a really good start. Dan?
Again, I'm deviating from non-animal. It's, I'll call this the Kevin Wheeler pick. I'm going to go with the Lions.
Yep.
That'll make him very happy.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you tell him?
Yeah, I don't need him to be happy, but I get it. Bernie, what do you think between the Lions and Cowboys?
Well, I like them both, but I'm going to go Cowboys at home. They big win the other night. I think they come home and they've got some momentum right now. I go Cowboys.
Amy?
All right. I am going to cast my vote against Jerry Jones. So I'm going with the Detroit Lions, baby.
Okay. Listen, as much as I have enjoyed our Detroit discussions that we've had this
Sports
week.
extravaganza.
As much as I enjoyed being in Detroit over the weekend, I really liked the city. I need these jerks to lose.
Yeah.
So I am probably going with my heart instead of my head, and I am picking the Dallas Cowboys because I need the Lions to lose.
Wow, a real battle of which one's emptier.
My heart or head?
Yeah.
Great question. It's like an old abandoned mine in both of them.
Yeah.
All right, Big Blonde Dan, what do you think? We've got the Falcons on the road against the Panthers. These two teams, well, one of them's decent. Falcons have been playing pretty well. Panthers stink. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Falcons running game has me in just like absolute turmoil, but I'm going to stick with the Falcons this week again and just hope that, little Bijan can help.
Maybe get some work on the ground. And you were forced to pick a bird or a tiger or a panther.
No good choices.
No good choices for you. Bernie Federko, what's your feeling on this one?
I'm going Falcons as well.
All
yeah,
right.
I don't think the Panthers are any good. They're not the Florida Panthers, so they're not the Florida Panthers.
That's
So
right.
I go Falcons.
You're right.
There's no Kachuk on this team. Well, see, okay. I think I might regret it. I know even bad teams win occasionally, but I am picking Atlanta. I'm going with Atlanta.
I think that's probably the best pick. And for the first time, this is the second time of all the picks. We have all gone with the same team. We have all picked the Packers. We're all picking the Falcons. So there it is. All right. Now, final game.
Okay.
This is the Sunday night contest. So what you'll do is give me the winner and then tell me how many points you think are going to be scored in the game total, both teams combined. So the New York Giants hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Dan?
Yeah, so the animal thing is completely out the window at this point. The Bengals had a rough week against the Chiefs, right? Cough, cough. We don't have to talk about what happened there.
Oh, we know.
Also, another rough game against the Ravens, right? They are, in my mind, the better team. So I'm going to have to go with the Bengals.
All right, Cincinnati it is. How about you, Bernie Federko?
Yeah, I'm going Bengals too. I think their record should be a lot better than what it is, and I'm going to stick with the Bengals as well.
Okay, real quick, I got to go back to Dan.
Yeah,
Dan, how many points?
So 45 points treated me well last week. I'm going to go with 45 again this week. Sorry about that.
No, yeah, and so back to you, Bernie. You picked Cincinnati. How many points in this game?
Let's see. I'm going to say I don't think it's going to get to 40 points. I think let's do 21. Let's see. What am I going to do here? 21 to 38.
So 38 total?
Yeah.
All right. 38
Wow.
points. Bernie's going with the under.
See, I kind of agree with Bernie on this points total. I think it's going to be something of a snooze fest. So I am picking the Giants, and I'm going to say 34 points.
34 points.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I am. I'm also going to go. I'm going to take the Giants at home. I know that they've got a receiver who's banged up with a concussion and went to a concert like a dummy.
He's fine. He went to the concert.
So he's probably not going to play, which will hurt. But I think the Giants win at home. I think they get back to 3-3, and I am going with 42 points in this one. I do believe it will. The total over under is 47.5. I think it will be under at 42. So there it is. We have our picks. Big Blonde Dan, you may or may not get to come back next week. That's your only prize if you win.
I'll take it. And thank you, Amy, Chris, and Bernie. It's fun getting to take part in this. But I do want to say that I want the record to reflect that if I do have a bad performance this week, I will be blaming it on the jet lag. So I just got back from Italy last night, and I will be protesting.
It's always
if I do not win.
You, Dan, and Amy have a lot in common. You blame your problems on other things. It's never your own doing. Thank you, Dan.
That's because we're perfect.
Thank you, Dan. And Bernie Federko, we appreciate you being with us, playing our silly little game. Thank you.
Guys, it's a pleasure. You know what? I've got no chance. So you know what? I hope I can remember what I picked.
No, I think. Look, I think you have a great chance. And before we let you go, what are your feelings on the Blues' hot start so far, winning the first two games?
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I think there's a lot of work left in progress. They played against a couple of teams that are not very good teams, and they're going to play against a good team tonight. But it's always nice to win the games, no matter how you win them. I like Binnington back in the net tonight. He always gives the Blues a chance to win. So yeah, they showed that they can come back, and I think that it's very, very positive. I think for not only the team but for the fans to see that they fall behind, they're not out of it. So I think all is good. So we'll see where it goes.
Bernie, you're awesome. Thanks for doing that. We really appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.
That's Bernie Federko, Blues legend. And yes, the Blues will play in Vegas tonight, 9:00 puck drop. We got a few more moments left to go here on this show. Also, did we say congratulations to Brennan and Baldwin Brennan and Baldwin won tickets to see the Blues and the Jets October 22nd. This is the Chris and Amy Show.
KMOX proudly supports the Musial Awards, returning to Stiefel Theater Saturday, November 23rd. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event hosted right here in St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the show celebrates the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those who embody class and character. Experience the extraordinary moments and people that make the Musial Awards an event like no other. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
We can get more sleep, we can get more sun, and we can get more exercise. But the one thing that we can't get more of is time. It's time to eliminate the one phrase that could be holding you back from reaching your retirement goals. I'll take care of it tomorrow. It's time to pick up the phone and make the call to Gary Goldberg and the team at Financial and Tax Strategies. 618-361-4232 or online at checkwithgary.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., an SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Gary Goldberg, NPN number 918615.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's also what a lot of us lack in our basement or garage. By switching to a Navien tankless water heater, not only will you have all the hot water you need whenever you need it, but you'll gain storage area as well. Maybe a place to display your space collectibles. Highly logical. Learn about Navien's series of high-efficiency tankless water heaters and how they don't just save space, but save dollars on your utility bills too. For more, go to tanklessmadesimple.com.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. While we celebrate the reversal of Roe v. Wade, there is still much work to be done to support life and pregnant women before they cross state lines. Together, we can provide the love, support, and options that women need to choose life for their children. Coalition Life celebrates more than 3,500 clients served and thousands of lives saved since we began this mission with you. Each one is a miracle. Over the years, day in and day out, our team has walked alongside women facing the fear and challenges of an unexpected pregnancy. Through the support of this community, we have given them hope and a path to choose life for the children they carry. Visit coalitionlife.com to give your vital support while reducing or completely eliminating your state taxes through Missouri's 70% tax credit. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Onder Law, we deliver big judgments for the little guy. Onder Law takes on the biggest industries and holds them accountable. Call today for a free review at 314 or 618-9-MILLION.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for Your Retirement Highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
I'm Michael Calhoun. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Amy. Love the show. All the social media and the problems it's causing with the youth, it all boils down to one issue: irresponsible parenting. It is a parent's number one job to provide an environment that their children can survive, thrive, and succeed in.
Well, and I will say this, I 100% agree. What I'm saying is we have made it so difficult on parents in the same way as if all the tech bros and everything made this really, really super addictive, super delicious drug. And we just forced it on kids all the time and all of their friends. And then tried to take it away from them.
Yeah.
Because here's an example. It is hard as a parent to say no all day long. So again, hate to bring up Switzerland, but when we went to Switzerland, right? There aren't fast food joints everywhere. There isn't junk everywhere. There aren't treats and sugary candies and sodas. It's just not there. You know, the whole thing, out of sight, out of mind. There really is something to be said. My friend who raised his kids for 5 years here when they were little, then moved back home to where he's from, Switzerland, he said it's so much easier to have kids eat healthy in Switzerland because you're not saying no all
You're not
day
driving
long.
past the McDonald's to get
Here,
home. Yeah,
there's candy, there's vending
Right,
machines,
right.
there's candy, there's junk. So the same thing with the phone. It is harder on parents to have to say no all day long.
There's no doubt about that. It's still on parents, yes, but we have absolutely made their lives more difficult to make those choices. It's the exact same thing as what you're saying. They tell us eat healthier, just don't eat junk food. Well, that's all that's in our faces all the time. It's more expensive. By the
Grocery
way.
stores close at 6. There's no McDonald's.
Yeah.
They don't have a chip aisle. It's easy to make healthy food decisions in a place where bad food decisions aren't an option.
Speaking of bad decisions, the weekend's here.
Oh, man.
Don't make any unless it's going to be fun.
Okay.
We'll be back with you tomorrow at 10, or tomorrow, sorry. We'll be back with you Monday at 10 o'clock, the Chris and Amy Show. We hope you have a great one. Anything you missed on the Odyssey app, download it for free and listen to the podcast. Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji on KMOX.
You're like America's wise ass. You know that?
What?
Thank you, Clay.
That's just not nice.
That is a great title for this guy.
That is America's wise ass.
Yeah.